going on, everybody? It's Saturday night, and that means Ozstradamus Toyz live. So, how's everybody feeling this evening?
Good.
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Good to have you all here. Had quite a bit of depressing, but not depressing news, really. I guess yesterday I went to the doctors. I've had this lingering cough since my illness that came from getting the con flu on my way home from PowerCon. And the doc said that I had pneumonia. So gave me a steroid and gave me an antibiotic, trying to rough it out. And I'm not the only one who's suffering a bit of illness tonight. If people may notice, our good friend Aaron Payne's Toy Samples is not joining us. He's not feeling so well either. So we're wishing him the best. And also, I know Cobweb Collector, he's not feeling too good, but he said he'll be joining us in the chat tonight. So how you feeling, Thanos? You good?
I'm surviving.
Surviving and healthy. That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear. All right.
Every day you wake up on the right side of the dirt is a good day, man.
It's so true. So true. I learned that the hard way. I want to go through and say hey to everybody here in the chat. We've got JMax77 joining in, hanging out with us. Good to have you here, brother. Figuratively speaking, John is here with us. This shady motherfucker right here. Got to watch
Who's
out
that
for him.
guy?
And we got the beautiful Dawning of a Decade here with us as well. My buddy's Customs is in here. And look, okay, this comment was directed at Dawn. Okay, bud, I'm sorry. I mean, you're beautiful too, but we love you, bud.
That
Actually,
just means you need to learn how to reply faster, Oz. That's all.
I try to go as fast as I can, but it's just, he's sneakily quick.
It's just waiting for it is why.
That's right. He's
Ah!
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So, Bud, I saw you said you were waiting to do some unboxing tonight. You got a link hanging out in your inbox, buddy. Why don't you just come on and join us then? J Max saying it's been a long week. He's ready to relax and talk toys, and I told him he is in the right place for that. We got Cobweb Collector himself in the house. I hope you start feeling better, brother. Good to have you here. Black Phoenix, Alex with us. Good to have you. K Roll here as well. And we got Lawrence, a punk with toys. Coming up this week, I will not be on Toy Frenzy because I'm going to be hanging out with Lawrence on Thursday night. We're going to be doing a live together. So it's going to be really cool. And we've got Bill from Weird Fantastic Toys hanging out with us this evening. Good to have you, Bill. Let me know if you want to pop on, brother. I'll throw you a link. Chef M80 also in the house joining us tonight. Good to have you, brother. Gosh, I love it. Oh, here it is. News most people been waiting for. Snake
I'm actually
Mountain
hoping I
is
don't get mine for a while. Like,
right. You kind of want it to hold off a bit.
I don't know where I'm
Pre-orders
gonna
been
put
hitting
it.
pretty hard.
It's gonna hit my wallet. I just had the wave, like the most current wave shipped from Entertainment Earth, and then those
boy.
skeleton guys. So I'm like, I could wait. I could wait a little bit.
Man, I want to get like 2 packs of those skeleton guys. I just don't got it in me right now. Still doing the recovery from the journey, the great trip. But glad to see everybody's getting some great stuff. We got Nolan in the house. Nolan just recently celebrated a birthday. Happy late birthday, Nolan. See you, brother. Duchess of Darkness in the house. Good to see you, Duchess. Just coming off hot from setting up another Prowler video more recently. If you guys haven't checked that out on her channel, make sure you do. And scrolling down here, let's see who else we got. Have I missed anybody yet? I don't think so. Cobb saying that the Skeleton Warriors are awesome. He just posted a great review earlier. Himself and El Tendis channel both have great reviews up of the Skeleton Warriors. Make sure you check out both of their channels. They're always putting out great content. And Cobweb made sure, it's funny because this group chat that we're in together, I know Lee's Customs, another great channel. If you guys check him out, he just got his Skeleton Warriors and he was doing some head swaps with Origin Scare Glow on the Skeleton Warriors, but he's got like a little bit more of that yellowish thing. On Cobb's channel, right before Lee got around to it, he took the Scare Glow head off of Masterverse, which is a little bit more green textured and it actually scales a little bit better with that new body type for that Skeleton Warrior on for Origins. I get mixed up with my own words. You can tell I'm a little out of it. So
It's actually a little odd how the Masterverse are bigger figures but have smaller heads.
isn't it? Like it's because of the builds. You
Yeah.
know, Masterverse figures, although they're bigger scale, they've got like a more leaner muscle, and the heads match that leaner muscle a little. Some of the heads look too tiny, like the original Revelations He-Man. I'm sorry, that head looked way too small for that body. It was
My buddy just sent me the Savage He-Man or whatever that one's called. You know, the one where he's like the barbarian. And
yeah, was
that's
that the Masterverse 2-pack or was that
yeah.
like the Ular from Classics?
I don't know because he just sent me the figure. He knows that I like barbarians and stuff, but
Yeah.
like the body sculpt is great, but the face is so typical 80s He-Man, you know, just dopey looking. It's like now I
I
gotta figure
actually
out
like the head on that one. I don't
well,
know
it's a
why.
great He-Man head, but it's you know, for like if I'm gonna
Right.
use it as a custom barbarian, it's not gonna work. You know, he just looks too happy to get eaten by a grizzly bear.
He looks far too happy to be
Savage.
you're right,
Yeah.
right. He's not very savage in
Yes.
his savageness.
Yeah. Great for a He-Man sculpt. I mean, it's perfect for He-Man.
It's a lot better than most of the ones that
Yeah.
are out. I don't understand why it's always so hard to get his head sculpt. Like, you know, it's complicated, and I think what it is, it's because of the haircut.
Well, the haircut doesn't help, and I think they falter between, you know, well, let's make him look tough, but then let's make him look, you know,
He's got to look heroic and
heroic,
happy.
right? And yeah, it's a
You
hard
know,
line to come to.
most of the heads don't bother me. The movie head bothered me quite a bit.
That's
But
because no He-Man has ever looked that derpy before. All right, he I'm sorry, I made a meme as soon as that thing came out because it looked like Shrek.
you know what's funny though is I took that head and I put it on an Eternian Guard, and then I don't remember what character it was, but it had like the Ram Man head that was removable. Might have been one of the wrestlers. I put that over his hair, and he looks
Yeah.
okay as like a guard. But yeah, his face didn't work on the He-Man.
Just
But
not-
what I was gonna say is like most of them I don't mind, but a while back I got a vintage He-Man like without having one for years, and that face, man, it just so every time you see the other faces, they're slightly off, and
yeah,
but
even
when you
even
see
the
vintage-
one that was released most recently to look like the vintage head. You know, it's close, but there's something still just off about it. And I think what it is, it might be the lighter colored hair.
it could
You
be
know,
it's
he
not quite as plasticky.
right.
Well, yeah, like if you look at that Faker looks great, right?
The Faker's
Yeah,
got the best
it does
He-Man
look
head sculpt,
right.
and he ain't even
It might
He-Man.
it might be the coloring though, right? It's probably the same
What's
head,
going
but
on
it's
with
probably the
that?
coloring on it.
You know, I do absolutely love the just the fact that we have so many He-Man figures to
Oh,
complain
yeah.
about lately. Normally, I'm not one to complain about toys, and I only minorly gripe about head sculpts because I know it's tough. Sculpting is not. I can draw great. I
You get the
cannot sculpt.
screaming face He-Man.
Screaming face, windswept hair.
I really wish they would actually put out like head packs of just different expressions, though. Like,
Yes.
I'm going to use this for a
Yes.
shot coming up, but to
I
have
can only
like a
imagine
whole,
what he's going to be doing.
I was gonna say
oh
I can't.
man,
I can only imagine what we got
Just
coming
wait.
on.
Uh,
All right,
Just
so
wait.
we've got Eternian Ellipse in the house. Sir Clifton back with us. Good to have you, brother. And Ray Black as well has joined in with the chat tonight. Good to go. And what we got here, Lawrence is mentioning the fact that clearly I'm a Joe channel, so I'll just collect my origins in the shadows. Lawrence, we accept you here, brother. You are welcome to talk about Masters Universe all you want on my channel. Your fan base may be more diehard Joe. My fan base is definitely more Motu centered. We accept your origins collecting. It's okay. You are free to be out of the closet here, my friend.
I'm like the opposite. I hear Joe and I start to like.
But
tune
there
out.
are so many, like, there's with Classified out now, and even what Valaverse brings to the table, there's like so many good military action figures. So if you're a military guy,
There's
Yeah.
just too many good action figure lines, period.
I know that's the problem. Like, why is that should not be a problem, but
I
it
mean,
is.
I'm not going to complain, but it's like
No, we shouldn't.
it's
We
hard to
shouldn't
figure
complain.
out where I'm going to spend my wallet at, and it's like
Well,
I
you know,
can't
it's
get
funny.
everything, but I want to.
Oh God, so bad, so bad. There's so many more that I want to collect, and it's like, no, I gotta stay in my lane as it
You
is. You
know,
know.
with Origins, when they announced like they were going to do the Filmation ones, I actually got a little mad. I was like, I want the line to finish at some point so I can be like, okay, I got them. Like I have my collection. I'm good.
I've got this one. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
completed it, and we're like, no, we can't. We're
Well,
just
like-
not that lucky.
The G.I. Joe Classified's going to have the same issue, right? Because there's so many characters. I mean,
Yep.
the original line went from 82 to 2000, basically. I mean, over a decade. Hey, Payne.
We got Aaron chiming in, even though he's not live with us tonight,
Yeah.
he's hanging out in the chat. But that's okay because somebody just showed up. And I'm not saying they're a suitable replacement because you cannot replace Aaron. You cannot replace Payne's toy samples. But what you can do is we can have a great substitute. And we've got Bill from Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures in the house.
All right, Bill, therapist.
Thanos, Axiom figures. Actually,
Good
I
to
want to thank you for sending me that figure in the mail the other day, man. That
Oh.
was great, man. Appreciate that.
Not a problem, man. Glad
That's
I
what
could help you out.
Absolutely love about this community.
You know,
is
what's
how much
funny,
we
though,
help each
It's
other.
funny though, if you watch a toy hunt video that I just did, I found that figure in the wild at my Walmart. Went ahead and bought that, and of course, I'm doing a giveaway here soon with Supermobile and King Hiss. The Moss Man that I bought at Walmart is going to go on another giveaway that I do in the future after this next giveaway.
I think the Walmarts all got like only a case of those, right? Which was 4. And they were putting them out when they were doing their resets. And then when they're, that's it. Like the
Well,
spot
that's even if
at
they
my
got 'em.
Walmart has been empty since I bought the 4 that they had back, whatever that was, a month ago or something, Bill.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was. Hang on just a second. I got somebody on the other line, but I'm going to stay here for just a second.
Sure, Bill. So I definitely know that the only Walmart around me so far that had it, and when I say around me, I mean that's like in reasonable distance. They're about like 15 minutes away. The one had 3 come in, but none of the other ones received any that I've seen. Then there is, well, that's not true. There was one in Catonsville, which is a little bit further out from me. But they also got 1 case in or whatever. Last weekend, I saw that one that was about an hour away from me. They had it. But after the experience I had the week before,
Yeah.
it wasn't going to be worth the hour drive out there
I
just to be
went
told.
to my local Walmart, and they're like, "Oh, this place has 4 of them." So I drove out there, and they couldn't find one of them. And the next day,
Sure.
someone told me that one about an hour away had 12 of them. So I drove down there. It's like none, not one to be found. Even had the guy go and look in the back. Well, he said he went and looked in the back. I don't know if he actually
Right. We
did
all know
or
how
if
that
he
really
They don't do
goes.
that.
Yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah.
Yeah, they go back there and it's a break. Yeah,
So-
I'm just looking for a customer.
The policy that they have to follow, what I've heard the best way to do it, order the figure online for pickup in store.
See, I never had the option for that. Like anytime I looked
Really?
online, yeah, it only had the what was it, like $80 or 70 something dollars that it was listed for.
Okay,
Um,
so if you switch, oh God, what is it? You gotta
You got to go to
Their
in-store.
their
There-
app, yeah, you gotta switch it to in store because
Yeah.
that's from a third party seller.
Yeah. So Walmart
And-
has like 3 options now when you go on there. And they call it something like, how do you want your product or something like that? And it's, in-store, pickup, or, shipping. And then you get all the different choices. And it's their website is so complicated to navigate now. It's not even fun.
It is. It's
anyway,
ridiculous.
I got one, but I had to have it shipped from Northern California down here.
So wait, your Moss Man was hanging out in Northern California with Sasquatch? I
Wow.
knew it.
My
I
cousin's not
knew
that
it.
hairy, but
Oh, the area it came from, it doesn't stalk. Okay. Well, fortunately, I'm not gonna say who yet until it comes in, but I've got one on the way finally. So my hunt for Moss Man is over. I'll still keep my eyes peeled because I know people are still looking for them, but I'm not going to be as aggressively seeking that one anymore. And it wouldn't be a big deal if he wasn't what I consider like one of the essential characters. Like I gotta have him in my line.
yeah.
Him and we got Cyclone coming up. Cyclone's another must-have. Um, Now part of this is that I feel with their switch to doing the Mattel Creations online, I feel like that's honestly a good thing. Now I know how much of a pain in the butt Mattel Creations has been lately, but I've got to admit it seems that it's gotten much better. There's a lot less outrage as far as I was going to say Thanos. I know you
When I
were
got
able to
this
pick.
though, it would not let me pay on the computer. I had to actually like log on my phone to get the payment to go through. I
Oh
don't know what
wow,
the issue was, but
yeah, that's a bit odd, but
even when they're going smooth, like it's just like this needless stress. Like, am I gonna get it? Am I gonna get it? Am I gonna? And
well,
I know
that's
it's not
because
like
we've
super
had
important,
so many
but
bad
Yeah,
experiences.
but it's not just Mattel Creations. Hasbro
Nah,
Pulse,
same
Walmart,
thing.
Target,
Hasbro
all of them
Pulse
do the
is right
same.
up
They're all
there.
doing the same thing now, right? It's like,
yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Motu Jones are in the chat, wanted to say hey to him, and he says Queen Marlena. I'd spend some money on a Queen Marlena.
I did
Well,
spend some money on a Queen Marlena.
yeah, you did. You got Lee's Customs Queen Marlena, and absolutely
Yeah,
amazing
I did the
custom.
same thing. Lee's Custom did an excellent job on Queen Marlena.
Yeah,
He was great, and it's a shame actually. I met him at Maryland Toy Expo, but I missed out on seeing him while he was at PowerCon this past weekend, or while we were there. But that's because with my social anxiety, I would get so overwhelmed and end up missing some things, but still managed to meet so many great, amazing people. So it was excellent.
it's hard to believe that was 2 weeks ago. Jeez.
I know, right? It still feels like it was just last weekend we were all
Yeah.
hanging out.
you're
Already,
still recovering from it.
I am
So
still
it's
recovering.
true. It is true.
So is
It
my
was,
wallet.
yeah, it was a huge toll.
I'm gonna
I
try to make it out next year if I can, but I
Yeah,
don't know if I'll be
definitely,
able
man.
to.
that
That'd
would
be
be
awesome.
good. We'd love to have you come and join us all. I mean, honestly, it's PowerCon this year. There was something about it, the way it felt with all of us being able to meet up, that it was with all the indie toys showing up, no presents from the big boys, and so many of us toy tubers and fans of the different channels and stuff like that that showed up. And these are people that watch all the channels, not just like people that watch my channel that showed up or anything like that. There was people grabbing everybody like, hey, I know you, hey, I know you, and other channels recognizing each other and being like, yeah, man, I watch your stuff and all.
I
It's a
think like
really
Robo on the Foosh put it best when he was talking like the week after PowerCon, so it was last weekend, and he was talking about how like it's so nice now that like all these toy companies are like just trying to help each other out. Like, oh, you're doing this, let me show you how, like, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing, and then he's like, and the toy channels are doing the same thing, right? It's not like,
yep.
anybody's battling for, for dominance now. It's like, let's just do it because all the independent companies are just trying to overtake, the big dogs now.
Right. Well, it's not even overtake. It's just really kind of show that they can do it
Right. Yeah. That's what I
better
mean. Yeah.
and more affordably. Because I mean, let's face it, a lot of the stuff we're getting from the big guys now, we're pretty dissatisfied with. But for the most part, when you buy these indie toys, whether it's AWOC, Mythic Cosmic Legions, you're buying Boss Fight Studio, very few complaints across the board for any of these
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
So, that's definitely.
Well, it's like, you could get, like, I got this figure at PowerCon off of the Four Horsemen table for $30, right? Or else I could pay $30 for a Hasbro Star Wars guy that doesn't have any accessories. It's like
right, or he's just not really,
yeah, it's not quality
fun at
or
all.
anything, right? It's like
So I did want to put up here. Chef M80 is mentioning that he has an extra Moss Man. So if somebody's still looking, we got to get you in touch with Chef M80, and we'll be able to hook that up. We've also got Parzival. Forgive me if I mispronounced that. Saying cheers from Germany. Excellent. I
Oh,
love it when we have people from all around the world showing up here.
man, he's got a
Appreciate you being here
beer,
and
a
joining
smoke,
us.
and a thumbs up. He's one hell of a guy. I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's ready to party.
Yeah.
All right. So, does anybody have any picks this week they want to open up while we're live tonight?
I was showing
Not us.
Thanos. I got the Mr. T from Mattel.
Mr. T. Yes.
Huge fan of Mr. T, so he's going to get opened.
Yeah, he's a cool pig.
Yeah.
I opened mine. Mr. Home Arcade sent that to me. I've got him back here on the figure table.
Oh man, have you guys watched his new video of him setting up his Eternia diorama all around his
I got the
room?
notification for that today, and I'm going to have to watch it. But
Bill,
I spent all afternoon. I spent all afternoon cutting a tribute to Bray Wyatt, which I posted on the channel here just a little while ago. Yeah, and that was sad, man. He wasn't like 36 years old.
36 years old. He's younger than everybody on screen right now. Passed away.
Yeah.
They said it was a complication from COVID or something, right?
Well, maybe. He had a heart attack. So,
Right.
Yeah.
He did have COVID. I know that. I don't know if he got jabbed or not, but you know what the jabs do to you.
Yeah, it could be from the jab, right? And of course, that's what the media's going to tell you, that it's from the COVID, not the jab. So,
of course.
There's a lot of people going right now.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say,
Terry
it's been
Funk
a pretty
the day
depressing
before,
week.
Bob
Right.
Barker.
Bob Barker just,
And I believe I just saw, hang on a sec here, right before we were going live, this just came across the desk. We got, who is it, Arlene Sorkin? Where is it? I'm trying to find, I'm in so many group chats, and it was in one of the group chats. Actually, I think it was the Frenzied group chat. Yeah, Arlene Sorkin passed away today, too.
Well,
Bob
that's
Barker.
number 3, so they usually come in 3. So hopefully that's going to be it for a while.
Yeah.
Terry Funk died, then Bray Wyatt, all on the same day, and then this person. So, yeah.
And Bob Barker.
Bob Barker?
Yeah.
I thought he was immortal.
Yeah, I really didn't think he would be ever be passing away. You know, for a lot of us growing up, if we were sick and we stayed home from school, we stayed home with Bob.
Yeah,
He kept his company on The Price is Right.
Somebody just posted that today. Rest in peace, Bob Barker. Thanks for keeping us entertained on our sick days. And I was like, yep.
Yep. I mean, that was a staple. You watched Price is Right if you were sick and you stayed home.
That's back when Price is Right was good, too.
Yep. I know.
I mean, it's not bad. Drew's doing a decent job on there, but it's not the same. You know, it's just, it doesn't have that same feel.
I feel that way about the Wheel of Fortune, though, because I used to love watching it when I was a kid, and they actually had to buy stuff with their winnings in the showcases. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Well, you know, the daytime Wheel of Fortune show was a slightly different show than the nighttime version as well. You could carry over for a week or two on there if you wanted.
So I don't have something to open up, but I got these guys
showing off the D&D second waves.
Those are some good figures, I think, and it's. Did you have any problem with the joints?
No, but I heated these guys up because I've been wary of the whole line since the first initial issues.
Yeah,
but they're fun. I like them. I've wanted toys of these guys forever. Now, if they do a Tiamat, I'll be happy.
We can only hope.
Nice. That would be nice.
I mean, I got to be honest. I kind of like that dragon that they put out for the more movie style.
That was a pretty cool dragon.
And it's not a terrible price for what you get with it.
You know, I've got this guy right here, and I've got Strongheart is on pre-order.
Nice.
Of course, you can look at him inside of his package here. I have had him out of here.
Ones.
Yeah, these are pretty cool. They're nice and very realistic looking and all that. But you know what would be really nice is if they did like some figures just like these in the cartoon style. That'll go with the cartoon figures a lot better than these would.
Yeah.
They might. They might also be having an issue where Hasbro's not letting them do like those kind.
Well, NECA's got that license, but the thing is, I don't think they're going to do any more D&D cartoon figures. They said that this was going to be it for them, so we'll see. Like you said, though, we've been waiting for figures from this line ever since we were kids watching the cartoon, right?
Yep.
And I kind of wonder about that too. Do kids even know about this cartoon?
No, they don't. Connor definitely was not aware of it until I sat him down. But I mean, again, where's the representation for it? Like, how many people took their kids to go see the D&D movie? I know a lot.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't go to movie theaters anymore. I watch it all online. But now, of course, this box is my own creation, but inside is the complete Dungeons and Dragons cartoon series. And I don't know if this thing is still in print or not, but there are two different versions of this, and I have them both. But this goes real well with the figures, so there you go.
That's right. You know, it comes to us to really share a lot of this with the younger gen because there's no spot for them to see it on TV. There's no real spot to showcase it online anywhere. Like, there are a couple, like Tubi has a lot of really good old cartoons on there that you can, have your kids watch.
I think the D&D cartoon in its entirety is being streamed on YouTube somewhere.
Probably.
A lot of the old cartoons are. So
the problem with watching them on YouTube, though, is that they end up breaking them into 1,000 pieces because they can't stream the whole episode.
Well, I will say this, that at least on YouTube, you can watch all the 2000X He-Man right now. It's up on YouTube, thanks to Mattel. It's good of them to share that with us because that's a great cartoon.
It is. And I really need to go back and watch that again. I tried to watch it when it first came out, but
they kept switching the time.
Yeah, they didn't want me to watch it for some reason. They didn't want anybody to watch it for some reason.
My cousin was recording it on tape for me, and he used to program it on the VCR because I didn't have cable. I didn't have Cartoon Network. So he'd record it, and then he'd let me borrow the tape so I can watch it. Mm-hmm. And then, he could never find it because it kept switching time slots. And, it became very difficult for him to record. So I ended up missing most of it. And then on, what was it? Then when they started coming out with the DVDs, when they were doing all the box sets, you get all the seasons of the Filmation, all the seasons of, they did individual DVDs for each. They broke it into 3 seasons, even though it was really only like 2 seasons of that. You could catch all of that on DVD. And that's when I finally got it in its entirety and was able to watch it. And with the commentary and everything, I learned so much from the commentary.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to give some shout outs here. I got Alphin flicked up on the screen saying, "Hey Oz, how goes it?" He's been sending us a lot of good news and stuff lately to me and Skelly and Toy Frenzy. We got Mike Fee joining us as well. Pleasure to see you here, Mike. Thank you. And Jamie Saunders has showed up as well. Good to have you here. Always love it. I get real surprised and excited each and every week. Everybody showing up and hanging out with us and just taking the time to talk, and it's a lot of fun. I do enjoy our weekly hangout sessions.
I know I've been watching Black Star on YouTube. Remember Black Star?
Oh God, I love Black Star.
Yeah, I hope Ace does a figure of him because I'm getting the Marshall.
You know what? Speaking of Black Star, I think Lee's got a kit that he's going to be putting out here pretty soon, so you can make a Origins Black Star. I know I want that.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a kit from Boujaboo on Instagram for.
I think he changed his name again, though, didn't he?
I don't know.
Boujaboo.
I want a Black Star with the green dragon.
He used to be Barbosa Customs. Now he's like Boujaboo.
Is that the
He,
same person? I didn't realize.
yeah, yeah. Well, Brick told me, I believe, that was him, and then he ended up having to change his name or something. But yeah, I mean, it's absolutely, absolutely phenomenal that the work that these customizers do, because some of it looks so much better than what we're actually getting too. But that, they're spending a lot more time. They're not mass producing this stuff in the same means. So, I mean, that's where you get it. But yeah, he also, Boojaboo put out a really cool Belmont Castlevania kit.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wanted that so bad, but the price was just a little too steep for me to buy. But oh, did I want that?
He had
It
a
looked so
cool
good.
alternate anti-attorney He-Man too, but they're a little pricey. So Black Star I had to jump on. I couldn't pass up on Black Star.
Right. You know who else I want to
I
see?
need to collect the Black Star cartoons in some form or fashion.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's only
I
one.
wanna
There's
get,
only one or two seasons of that, I think, though. So
I
it
think it was
should be
just
that.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the only one.
well, Filmation never did more than 2 or 3 seasons of anything, and the way we kids would watch the cartoons, we wouldn't watch them in the order that they came out in,
No.
and probably would go out and play one Saturday, and then the next Saturday come back in and catch a cartoon or two, and the thing stayed in perpetual repetition, repeating over and over and over again.
Oh yeah.
So if you didn't catch it one time, you would catch it again some other Saturday. So
We also watched so many damn cartoons you'd forget which ones you did watch 6 months into it. So it's like,
well, yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example. The New Adventures of Batman. There aren't very many of those. I've got them all on DVD. I swear, when I was a kid, that there was hundreds of New Adventures of Batman cartoons, but there weren't.
well, it was the animated series, New Adventures of Batman, New Adventures of Batman and Superman,
Well,
Justice League.
wait a minute. I'm older than you are.
Yeah, he's talking about
Oh,
the
okay,
way
you're
older
talking
than
about
you
the
are,
much
Jack.
older ones.
Yeah,
The reason
I'm talking
that
about
one seemed like there
1970s
was
New Adventures of Batman.
that one, yes.
Yeah,
was that the one with that was the one with Batmite, right?
Yeah, it had Batmite in it.
Yeah.
Every Filmation cartoon had something like
Right.
that in it. That
Yeah.
was one of Lou Scheimer's little things.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they put Batmite in there. It had Batgirl in it.
Yep.
It had Adam West and Burt Ward playing the voices
Yeah.
of Batman and Robin in it.
Right. Straight
And
from the
they
60s.
reused most of the animation from the previous
Right.
Batman cartoon from
Yep.
the late 60s. So
Yeah.
When they did a lot of that stuff too, it was because you didn't get it once a week. They pumped out enough episodes, like with He-Man. Everybody talks about He-Man. It wasn't a once a week experience. He-Man was released with a new episode every day
yeah,
When you were a
of
kid,
the week.
not when me and Bill were kids.
No, yeah, they were. That was their release schedule. It was a new episode every single day.
Yeah, but
'Cause-
when did He-Man start?
1983.
Right, I was 10.
Three.
I was not watching cartoons that often. I was
Okay.
busy with school.
1983. When it came out, it was every single day.
G.I.
you got a
Joe's the
new
same way.
episode.
Everybody thinks
And-
G.I. Joe is a Saturday morning cartoon. That wasn't either.
Mhm.
It wasn't every
Right.
day.
Yeah,
No,
they were both in syndication, and that's
Yeah.
how they got away with not having to follow the rules of Saturday morning, because there
That's
was a lot of
right.
things you
Yep.
couldn't do on a Saturday morning cartoon, but you could do it in syndication. And
Right.
but even then, G.I. Joe's M16 shot lasers, and every time they
Nobody
blew
ever
up a
died.
helicopter, yeah, you would see the parachute come out. Man,
Parachute.
Cobra Rather gets blasted right in the cockpit, and the guy still parachutes out. It's like,
Jumps
He
right
parachutes
out.
out.
No problem. Or
I didn't even
all
think about it
enemies
as a
were
kid.
robots.
Like,
No,
it's like,
I
oh,
didn't
okay,
care.
like there's no danger ever, but
Nope.
like now you watch
It
it.
looks like fun, right? It's a
Yeah.
game. It's definitely not real.
maybe
Hey,
they should
I love
just-
the A-Team too. That went for 4 seasons, and no one ever died. So
Right? But that was a little bit more serious.
I have not seen that since I was a kid. I wonder how it holds up.
A-Team.
Have you
I
watched
love
every-
watch.
It's
I watch
still
the
pretty
A-Team all the
solid.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's on
it
Roku.
is.
who hasn't seen an A-Team?
Your Mr. T's
Not a
got to
lot.
say it though.
So I've been playing with these little things.
What you talking about, sucker? What do you mean you're not watching the
That's
A-Team?
making potions. And
John says
I
that
can
he
see it.
heard somewhere they're going to be doing a new GI Joe cartoon. I hope they don't ruin that. What do we
Well,
got
I
there?
mean,
Thanos, what
he's
you
been
showing
working
me? A
on
little
little
bottle?
potions. Yeah, he's
yeah,
been
little
making little mini
potions
potions.
and herbs.
Put your hand behind it so it'll focus up on the camera there. There we go.
If we can get it to focus. Thanos doesn't seem to ever have luck with that.
Yeah, I really don't. And then I'm getting the glare too. But it's just a bunch of little bottles, and they have like a bunch of stuff wedged in them. I'm making
Those-
like a shop display, so I wanted stuff
The
in the
fact
background.
that those vials have the corks for real is just I
Yeah.
love them. They're just so cool.
Here we go. Rick says, He-Man, Motu, 130 episodes, less than 2 years, and I'm not even including She-Ra.
That's right. Because they just spam new episodes every single day. And, it was fine. That was great. But that's also, and like you said, with them playing it in the syndication with the reruns, it just seemed like it was always on.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't born until 85, and I remember He-Man every single day.
You were young
Oh, yeah.
feller.
Yeah, I am. Like I said, only 2 years older than Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
So,
that's
Bill, I
Hmm.
know you were talking about wanting to look up some stream or see some cartoons and stuff. I sent you a link that'll help you with that. It's in your DM.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That link he sent you actually had the old Filmation Tarzan, which I've been wanting to watch for a long time.
The Filmation Tarzan is excellent Tarzan. It's probably one of the most Burris accurate Tarzans that there is available. And I acquired all of those at one time on the high seas as well. And they hold up just as great as they ever did.
Yeah.
And
Funny story. I always had the image of that monkey, his little monkey friend from that cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
It was always in
Nikema.
it was always in my head, but I could never figure out where it was from. I just remembered the monkey. And I
Because
could
you never saw it in any of the other versions.
I could never place it. And then my son bought me a DVD collection that was like all 60s or 70s cartoons, and there was a couple episodes of Tarzan on there, and I was like, that's the monkey. And he's like, what are you talking about, Dad? I'm like, that's the goddamn monkey that's been in my nightmares forever, trying to figure out where it came
Well,
from.
Nikema was his monkey pal in the books.
Yeah.
Yep.
He would sit up on his shoulder, and he was a little spider monkey that hung out with Tarzan in the books. And that the Filmation cartoon is the only media that Tarzan is in that included Nikema.
Yep.
I love that
There
cartoon.
was no cheetah in the books, folks.
Nope. So Lawrence is saying A-Team jumps the shark when stupid Frankie joins the team.
I don't remember Stupid Frankie, so I guess I've stopped watching A-Team before that ever happened. So it didn't happen.
A-Team's good through the first 3 seasons. It's the last season that just it goes to shit. They bring in some CIA operative and some.
Yeah.
Wait. Time out. There's more than 3 seasons?
Yeah, there's 4.
No
one talks.
Wait. There isn't but 3 seasons, right?
That's right.
Right.
We don't.
Yes.
Right. There we go. Okay.
3 seasons of A-Team.
Right.
The last one's called B-Team. There's a spin-off.
Yeah, there was
Crashed
no
and
last.
burned.
There was no last season of 18, folks.
Good to know, because when I go to rewatch,
Yeah,
Right.
like I said, I don't remember
Watch
too
the
much
first
about
3 seasons. The first 3 seasons still hold up really well.
it. Right on.
Never
Mothman.
mind. I just saw that the new G.I. Joe cartoon was canceled before it even started. That absolutely sucks.
That happens. That does happen.
Welcome to 2023, folks.
We can't get
A lot of
cartoons
projects
on
are going to get canceled right now or put
That's
on
true.
indefinite hold. So
Right. With the
I wouldn't
strike
say
still
it's never
going
going to
on.
happen, but
It's definite. I mean, there were a lot of people that were saying the He-Man movie was never going to happen, but the strike definitely did not help. And
Well, Hasbro's had that plan to do the G.I. Joe mass Transformers, that whole Hasbro stuff forever, and they never been able to get it done.
well, it's they want to try to emulate exactly what Marvel did, and the problem is Marvel really that kind of evolved naturally over time,
they took their time and they introduced each character in their own movie
Right.
without
Yep.
crossing over anything before they ever decided to do that. And the problem is with DC movies and any other movie that tries to do a movie universe like that is they don't want to do the work. They want to skip
Yeah.
all the way ahead to
Yep.
the shared
Right.
universe. And you can't do that.
That's right. No,
No.
you've gotta lay the groundwork, and it's gotta make sense.
I think with Transformers, you could combine that and GI Joe pretty easily. Like honestly, just
Wouldn't be
have the
hard.
Joes be the ones that discover the Transformers, and you could.
There was a really cool comic book series where
Oh,
Transformers
man.
and GI Joe were together, and it was
Yeah.
set like World War II or shortly after thereafter. That was really, really good.
We'll see. And then after, you do a couple movies with GI Joe, and you get the Transformers involved with it. A few movies down the line, you introduce Mask, because what does Mask have? Driver
It'd be real simple,
operated
right? You could,
transforming
yeah,
cars. I
GI
wonder where
Joe
that
takes
came
it.
developed from, you know?
Yep.
It can work. You can make this happen, but lay the groundwork, take it slow, get a good team of writers, people who are passionate about the brands, and that will make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So
that might be part of the problem with their creative on both those brands, GI Joe and Transformers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily the people making the toys, because it does seem like the people making the toys, a lot of them care because the sculpts come out good. They produce like a lot of stuff, but those movies, like
Well,
I
just
have
think,
not been able to get through a Transformers movie. Like the first one, okay. I couldn't get through the second one or the third one, and I just gave up completely. And I think I saw like maybe 10 minutes of Joe, and I was like,
none of the GI Joe movies were.
yeah, I've not heard good
They
things.
had some fun
They were
parts.
they were
but
watchable, but that was about it, right?
yeah, they just didn't feel like GI Joe for me.
No. The problem is you can't. It's just like when they did the A-Team movie, right? The A-Team movie was done really well, but they did a modernized version of the A-Team, right? You
Yeah,
can't take GI Joe and modernize it with stuff that's so ridiculous that it's not going to make sense, right? Because GI Joe,
yeah,
back when they were creating GI Joe, they actually were using government blueprints for some of the futuristic weapons and
No,
technology.
the
the government was
Mobat
using.
tank was an Abrams tank,
Right.
and I remember when the first comic book came out, and that's what got me into GI Joe. I was more of a comic book fan than I was the toy fan, although I did collect some of the toys. Hell, I wanted all the toys that were in that first comic book. I
Oh
wanted
yeah.
those toys, and that's what I aimed for, and I got a pretty good smattering of them before I outgrew all of that. But that first comic book and the ones after it that Larry Hama did, they were so grounded in reality that you felt like that this could be the Delta Forces. This could be a counterterrorism part of the army, and that you were getting a fictionalized account of what they were up to and what they did, and that's where the GI Joe movie went off the rails. I mean, it was like a science fiction movie and not
Yeah.
a grounded.
It was awesome. At a Comic-Con, I sat down with Larry Hama for about 30, 45 minutes. And he was going through his phone, showing me the guy that he was in Vietnam with that was Wild Bill and all the other characters that he used.
yeah.
He was like showing me on his phone. He's like, yeah, this is so-and-so. This is so. I mean, he was such a cool guy. It was like, and then he told this whole story about how he ended up getting the G.I. Joe gig because nobody else wanted it. And then it just became this huge thing. It was like, wow.
Made him a rock star and a legend.
Larry Hama was the one that, in my opinion, made G.I. Joe marketable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he latched onto something there that nobody else could have done at the time, and really hasn't been able to do well since. Like now we get a bit more of it, but
I'm sorry, the movie sucked, and they did not capture GI Joe for me. I watched the first one, and that was enough for me, and I didn't even bother with anything else they did of it.
I enjoyed the Snake Eyes movie, but not as a Snake Eyes movie, just as a
like a
standalone
generic kind of ninja movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't Snake Eyes. Whenever I think of Snake Eyes, he is their commando. Okay.
Oh yeah.
He was ninja trained. The silent issue sticks out in my mind. That's when we found out that he was a ninja and that he was somehow connected with Storm Shadow.
Yep.
What a revelation.
Yeah.
And all done with no text at all.
Yep.
So, and It really takes that ability to tell a story without having to put any words for it. Now, real quick, before it gets away from me too fast, I did want to recognize some more people we got coming in. Mothman 46 is here. Danny Phillips is here with us. Always got to love Danny Phillips over in the UK. Joins us. It's like, 5 hours ahead his time. So I appreciate you being here, Danny. And we had Wilhelm Toy and Hobby here. Go
Will.
check out his channel, please.
Yeah.
And we've got Ted Darklaw from Helidope Toys joining us as well,
Ted, bro.
popping in to say, hey. Phenomenal. Thank you all
I saw
for being
Pop
here.
Actor pop in too.
Yeah,
Yes.
Pop Actor Rick was in earlier. I think I quoted him.
Here
was
he
he in
is.
earlier?
Yeah,
Yep.
he also says what would Pop Actor just say? Double Dragon movie didn't even seem like the game to him.
Yep. We did pop this up, and
Well, it's just like, well, I mean, it's so hard to take a book or a story and make it into a movie, and
it can be. It's
it can
really,
be done,
really
but
tough
it's really
to do that.
they can be done, but it's a struggle.
Now,
So-
well, the thing is, we all have in our mind what it should look like, and of
Right,
course, it's not going
exactly.
to look like that in the movie. And then there's the storyline. They have pre-made storylines for them. All they have to do is follow the script. But no, we can't do that. We have to come up with our own thing.
I wish American properties would take the anime approach and just take like comic books that are good runs and animate them. Use the comic
You
as
got
a storyboard.
storyboards pre-created for you.
Exactly. They
Well, it's like the Star Wars
Like a
sequels,
director.
right? They had that whole story arc from the Dark Horse comics that was awesome of what happened after Jedi. That had they made that into the sequels of movies, it would have been a great movie. But no, we can't do that. We got to do our own thing.
I think they were so focused on getting the original crew back that they're like, we have to do this big of a time jump.
Yep.
And like, I think you could have recast them and been like, yeah, this is a couple years after. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Well,
Luke and Leia were still in the.
Lucas had a story treatment for that. He went to Disney with it, and he goes, "Okay, you've bought my company. Here's my story treatment. I'm giving that to you so you can use it." And they took it and they put it right straight in the trash.
Well, there was also a part of it that he also had said to them that he didn't want them to do his story if they were going to make a sequels the way they did it. In one of the interviews, he had mentioned that this is what I have. If you are going to make movies and I am not involved, do not use this. If you want to involve me, this is the story we're going to tell. And that's when they were like,
Okay,
we don't
want
need to have you involved.
Put it in the trash.
Yeah, that's basically how that panned out.
That was stupid of them. But then again, I don't know who's responsible for that. Whether it was Iger or whether it was
that was Kathleen Kennedy.
I was going to say, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, the biggest problem with those movies is they didn't have a plan. Like, they did the first movie, and then like the next movie was like, I'm just gonna be like middle finger to that movie, and the other guy came in came back and was like, shit, I have to kind of try to wrap this up now.
Well, well, on top of that, like they didn't understand, like when the first one came out, Poe Dameron, right? In the trials was such a popular character that they started writing more in for him to be in the story. He was only going to be like a little side character, and then everybody loved him. When they did the test screens, and so they went back and changed a whole bunch of stuff to make the story work better for him.
Somehow Palpatine survived.
Yeah, but it's just like I laugh because
that's not
what's
too
his name?
uncommon because
Snoke.
they did do that within the comic books too.
Yeah.
Well, they did, but it played out so
the
much
new big
better
bad of the
than that.
movie.
Yeah,
I was actually interested in Snoke. I was like, okay, who's this guy? What's his story?
Yeah.
Oh,
so everybody,
I guess
there
it
was
doesn't
so
matter.
many
What's
fan
his
theories
deal?
about Snoke. It was awesome, right? All these fan theories that he was Vader, reincarnated. He was the Emperor and all this other stuff. And then all these stores.
It turned out he wasn't anything.
Well, it turned out the Emperor
their
one
toys.
was almost true. He's a failed clone.
But they got all these toys, and then they killed Snoke, and like none of the toys sold. It's sad in clearance because everybody's all excited about who Snoke was at first, and then they killed him off real fast.
anyway, I got to run, guys. I got a show that's coming up in about 20 minutes.
Yep.
So you
All
guys
right,
take
Bill,
it
have a
easy.
good one.
I can hop in and say hey to everybody and hang out for a minute. Everybody have a good journey, and I'll see y'all next time.
Absolutely,
All right.
brother.
Later, Bill. Always good to see you.
Yes, sir, Bill. See ya. All right, man. So yeah, I mean, I think that was one of the worst things about the new Star Wars sequels. Again, there was absolutely no direction. J.J. Abrams kind of had an overall idea he seemed he wanted to roll with. And unfortunately, when you go and you bring in another director who's got their own idea that they want to go with and just completely lays waste to any continuity from what was set
I mean,
before to tell a
it's
different
fine to bring
story.
in like a different director if you're like, okay, the middle part's going to have like a slightly different tone. We want to do a different director. But like when you start throwing scripts in a blender and be like, I don't give a shit about what happened before, it's like, it's jarring. Like, and I don't think those movies are that bad. Like, honestly, people give them a lot of shit. I don't think they're that bad. They're watchable. They're not my favorite, but
it's just like Han Solo. The Han Solo movie I thought was decent, right? It's a standalone Han Solo movie.
I like Solo.
Oh man,
does it tie into what
I'm
I
amazed
had as I impression of Solo when I was a kid? No, but it's still a decent movie.
Yeah.
So I'd read the Han Solo trilogy books.
Yeah. Yep.
And they did pull
novels.
quite a bit from those books. And it wasn't bad, and I wanted to see more of where it was going. But because it didn't gross so many billions of dollars, they were like, nope, this is garbage. It's like, well, you released it 6 months after we just had the last one. We're a little fatigued here.
They also
not to
didn't
mention
market that one very well at all, right? Like
no, they waited till like the last minute.
Yeah, till from them guys or Disney to market that.
Also,
so
the actor had huge shoes to fill, like trying to replace Harrison Ford.
Sure, yeah, you're never going to replace Harrison Ford. It's the same reason that they haven't had a new Indiana Jones, because there's no way they're ever going to replace Harrison Ford, right? I mean, they should have done after the third one, but
the crap that happened in Crystal Skull. I didn't like the overall story of Crystal Skull, but it did kind of lay good groundwork for Shia LaBeouf to kind of rise up. Unfortunately, Shia LaBeouf was just a little too unstable at the time, and they were like, "Nah, we're not."
Well, that was the whole point, is have him take over as the predecessor.
Yeah,
but then again, like after that movie, you could have just recast them. You didn't have to get the same. Like, was he contracted? Is that why they didn't make a movie for so long?
Like, yeah, right. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
and then he was just like,
Crystal Skull did bad too, because
I was not a fan. I still haven't seen the latest one yet. I do want to go
trying to
see
put
that.
too much sci-fi into. Try to put too much sci-fi into Indiana Jones, and that's not what people wanted, right?
You also had
the mystical, magical stuff was okay, but
you had to look at the fact of what was popular on like History Channel at the time too. Everybody was blowing up about ancient aliens.
Oh yeah.
Look, I'm sorry. When the poster child of your show is Giorgio with that crazy hair that he's got going on.
I like Giorgio. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens.
Aliens. I'm just saying. But Giorgio, like honestly, I think he's funny as hell. But when I see him, no matter what you're telling me, loses all credibility because this guy looks like a stereotypical nut job.
He's always wearing like the old school brown suit, and then he's got his hair standing like
the hair's like out to here.
Is that
Young Einstein? That's what he reminds me of.
Still going.
I don't know.
It's definitely still going. See, look,
Dave
says he loves that show.
Yeah. I watch Ancient Aliens all the time. I watch it.
I had a lot of fun, and honestly, some of the stuff they say makes sense.
Yep.
A lot of what they say makes sense, but you can't prove it either way, which is the worst part. Like you can't.
That's my problem with like all of the shows you find like about hunting ghosts and aliens, even Sasquatch, the cryptids. It's like they get the guys on that are like, it's real. This is proof, right? And it's like, well, it's the same proof we've had for years. How are you saying that that's proof now, right? It's like,
right. It's still not proof enough. Right. Otherwise, the scientific community
it's not proof. It's hearsay.
It's not proof enough because you're still out there hunting for it and trying to find real proof. So otherwise, you wouldn't be getting a paycheck. So
I'll be right back.
Yeah,
All right.
not a problem. So
Hey, there's
Adam's
Adam.
jumping in saying, just to play devil's advocate, why does everyone assume that another version of the sequel trilogy would have been any better? What if the original trilogy was just lightning in a bottle? And it's true.
Good point.
You know, he told a fairy tale in space.
Yeah. But the thing
And
is like you watch like my son Luke, right? He's going to be 18 in a month, and he is all about the sequels or the prequels, right? But that was his Star Wars as a kid, right? Our Star Wars as a kid was the original trilogy.
yep.
And the people that are kids for the sequels are going to love those characters just like we loved Luke and Leia, and just like my son loves Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul, right? It's just
Yeah.
There's no
think it
doubt
really-
about it that the original trilogy was lightning in a bottle, though. Like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
yeah,
It did.
like, it was a cultural phenomenon we're all still feeling the after effects for.
Not to mention the fact that he did invent most of the technology that has gone
That's true.
on
Yeah.
Very
to
revolutionary.
reinvent cinematography and how films are done today with those trilogies.
Yeah.
Which
Not
is
only
something,
marketing marketing to films too. I mean,
oh
the
yes,
guy,
because
he was a
marketing
marketing
didn't
genius,
exist
right?
until George Lucas came along.
Right.
Yeah.
He
My
was
only
the
problem with the sequel, though, is like it was just inconsistent. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like built as a trilogy. It was.
Yeah.
It was very singular in
Yeah.
each instance.
Well, it
You
didn't.
know.
They didn't respect each other. Like
Yep.
No, because
it's like super obvious.
JJ comes in at the end to try and redeem everything because everybody just crapped on 8 so hard.
Yeah.
And even then it was kind of like, this is a stretch, but it's what we've got.
Yeah.
So speaking a little bit about conspiracy theory and cryptids and such, Mike Fee brings up, didn't the Pentagon say they was real a few weeks ago, talking about aliens?
Yes.
That definitely got released.
Yeah.
I know nothing about this. Like I've heard people say that, but like,
Oh yeah. There was apparently they declassified some documents and came out and basically said, okay, yes, UFOs are extraterrestrials. We have no idea, like this and that kind of deal.
So let's put it this way: they basically said they were real without saying they were real. Right?
Yeah,
They kind of said there's proof that there's a solid chance that they do exist, but we haven't had any contact with them yet. Even though chances are, if they exist, the government probably has. But
I mean, honestly,
That's
my
another
take on
conversation.
aliens has always been like, it would be really ridiculous if we're the only things in the universe.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of
numerically,
like
that is not possible.
my
So-
concern is like everybody's afraid of aliens because of all the movies, of course. But like, if an alien race is superior enough to travel across the galaxy, they could wipe us out really fast. And if that was the case, we'd already be done.
I was gonna say the thing is they probably look at us as so inconsequential. Like,
Yeah.
look, they have enough trouble making it to their moon and back.
Right.
I like to hope that
They're
any
not worth our
species that
time.
has made it off its planet has gotten past mass warfare and
Exactly.
destructive technology. But I don't,
I
that's just
believe that anybody that has that high of technology and able to do that has already become enlightened enough where they don't need warfare and slavery and all that stuff, right? It's just
They like watching our stupid human selves.
they probably are. They're probably sitting up there in their spaceships on the satellites, laughing their asses off. Did you see what that dumbass just did?
They're up there with a bowl of popcorn, sitting in front of their TVs with their microwave trays, like somebody out of the 70s. Just
We're their reality TV.
Oh God, the worst programming ever.
Can
I'd
you
hate
believe
to think
that Jenny
one's
said that?
popular. That's what it is. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And Pop Actor says he's an alien, and I totally believe it. Nolan mentions we're the backwoods of the universe. That's right. And nobody goes. As a matter of fact, the numbers have dropped as we've gone on with this conversation here on my channel. People do not want to hear us talk about aliens.
especially because like I don't know anything about it. We bash Star Wars.
We just
talk
roll
about
from
aliens.
conversation to conversation.
Sorry, guys. I didn't quite mute my mic enough there, but that tickled my lungs enough that I had a bit of a coughing fit.
It happens.
Here we go. Mothman's the one who would know. They said UAPs exist,
Right.
but we don't know what they are or where they're from.
What is a UAP?
unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Okay,
Yep.
So UFO with updated terms.
gotcha.
Yep. They're up there shining up their probes. That's probably accurate. They're shining up the probes, gonna turn that some bitch sideways.
Well, it's just the
and
scientist gray aliens that are doing the probing. The other ones are
That's
just like take us for dinner sometimes, and
what's this? Look, okay, I'm not convinced that those gray aliens are scientists. We're giving them credit as scientists, but I think they're just a bunch of perverts.
probably.
Well, I mean, because what else would they be? Thanos knows. He's taking pictures of it.
No probing yet, but wait till I get one of those
It
grays
was
for
the
Cosmic Legion. It'll come up at some point.
it's the XXX files.
Yeah,
There you go.
you're gonna get one of the grays from Cosmic.
I wanted to get. I actually had one on pre-order, but I canceled it. But I'll
Yeah.
probably end up picking one up.
Yeah, I got that one on pre-order, the first one, and I'm gonna get the second one, of course. But
So
I just think they look really cool.
Bud says Mothman is real, and I gotta
hey,
say,
Jimi Hendrix had an
from
experience with Mothman.
hey man, being from the Chesapeake, I fully believe in Mothman.
Now,
We got a long history with Mothman.
Jimi Hendrix was also on acid his whole life, so I don't know if you can
That's true. That's true.
really.
Danny Phillips saying he's loving the conversation, so that's good. I'm glad you're here. Because honestly, at one point in time, I had more structured episodes for Saturdays where there would be specific topics and such. But really, these days, it's kind of just this is the unwinding for the week. This is me hanging out with my friends, basically recording our conversations, and I kind of like that. I'll eventually get back to doing more serious toy content at some point. But I mean, my show has evolved into this, and that's okay though
or
because I'm
devolve, depends
having
on
fun
which
with
point
it.
you're looking at.
Oh no, I totally evolved into this because if you
Oh,
watch
all
them
right.
earlier ones, they are rough. They're also not nearly as entertaining.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go back and watch those.
this is a good time though.
Yeah,
Right?
watch
Just
some of the
hanging
old
out, bullshitting, right? It's
It really is. Honestly, this is Wednesdays normally kick starts like I mean we've got content every night of the week now, but
oh yeah,
Wednesdays always really kick started the end of my week because watch some Wicked Wednesday and then switch over to watching. Now Adam does a little bit of a live stream after on Wednesdays. That's Radical Toys, or you watch Dole over on Gotham City Tonight. Then Thursday nights is Toy Frenzy, which I always look forward to. And then Friday nights we get a bit of a lull, but not anymore because Aaron does toy therapy on Fridays now, which is great. And then we move into Saturday nights with me, and then Sunday is a whole huge all day lineup basically. Sundays starts with like TKO in the morning, and then we get Skelly's Weekly Weirdo, Bill's Hangout. Like you will watch YouTube
And
all
then
day
Rick
on Sunday.
started a show to lead into Hella Dope and Geek Dad Live.
yeah.
Yep. And it's a very, very busy time. Sundays is probably the busiest streaming day. And
Well, it's like when Luke
honestly,
and I were starting, and we had to pick Wednesday because of his work schedule at the time. And
yeah,
then then he's like, "Well, you want to go into school on Wednesday night?" So then we switched to Tuesday, and I'm like, "It doesn't matter what night of the week you pick, you're going to bump into somebody else."
you're overlapping somebody.
Yep.
There is no free. Okay, so oh, yep. I was gonna say Adam is mentioning TKO is actually not tomorrow. It's tonight. It'll be going live as we're wrapping up tonight's show because, as a matter of fact, I'm keeping my eyes on the clock. I'm actually going to be shutting down the live a little bit early tonight because then people will be able to join myself, Adam, Brick, Toy Habits, and Mega J over on Ken's channel for a special TKO. As a matter of fact, Nolan is mentioning 11 p.m. Central Time.
I'm going to go grab a drink, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So you guys are going to be talking about indie toys, right?
Yes, yes. We've been having these conversations amongst ourselves, through chats and stuff like that for months now about indie toys. And it seems like after PowerCon, the dam has broke open and everybody's starting to pay attention to like everybody's kind of been on it a little bit, but when it comes down to it, like we've really been trying to, cover a lot of what's going on with the indie toy brands. So now we're all coming together to discuss it thoroughly, because there is a lot of really good stuff, and
Yeah.
we're going to go over like a lot of successful projects and stuff. It's going to be a really good conversation to have.
It's going to be kind of hard to keep up with toys.
It's already hard to keep up. It's not going to be hard to keep up. It's already hard.
Well, I just mean once these brands are like rolling for a while, like
Oh,
Savage
yeah.
Crucible isn't out yet. I mean, I think you can
So
pre-order the first wave.
Yeah, so far they've kind of been like staggered,
Yeah,
but the problem is it's going to be like a continuous roll on our bank accounts, whereas before we'd get dips, you'd get recovery time.
that's what I
Lately
mean. Like it's going to be.
we don't have it.
Yeah,
There is no recovery time.
I'm gonna have to start being a little choosier, I think.
We all have to. We've got to refine and readjust our collections so that way it makes sense for us to get everything that we really want. Because I know Adam will be saying, as you said many times, we don't need any of it. And he's
I
so
want a lot of it.
yes, want so much. Yeah. See, he's saying nobody is keeping up anymore, and it's only getting harder. Adam, I sent you the link if you're able to jump in and you would like to. Ooh, I was about to drop the link in the chat. That is not the link I wanted to drop in the chat.
As long as you're not advertising open mic night, right?
Oh, well, there was somebody who was willing to jump in earlier in the chat, but I didn't know who they were, so they weren't getting an invite.
Well, you don't want to see a
choosier. No more prolapse episodes of Ozstradamus Toyz Live. Let's put it that way. That was a real shitty episode. Oh. Adam's about to open Tanger on his channel, and I totally understand.
yeah, I did see that. That he had that up there.
So, yep. And I did just drop the very fuzzy URL for TKO tonight. So definitely put that link in there for everybody. That way, everybody can make sure they check that out. But yeah, Nolan, I don't want to get into it too much before we go live later, but yeah, AWOC, Armies of Ashmore, Legends of Dragonor, these are all
the Frazetta Girls, Savage Crucible.
Oh my god.
So
Fresh
like
Monkey Fiction's doing Monster Force, which
Fresh Monkey Fiction is killing it.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of people might be angry about Boss Fight Studios a little bit here and there, but they're still putting out a lot of really good stuff. And Nacelle, everything that they got coming out with Biker Mice from Mars and all.
If they end up doing the creatures for Sectars, I will buy some of those for sure.
I talked to the guy from Nacelle at PowerCon about that, right? Because
Sectars
flying
ain't the
ant
same
or
without.
whatever they had, the puppet that you could fly in your hand.
Yeah.
I asked him if they were going to make that, and he said that they were working on the bikes for Biker Mice from Mars first to see how well it could all go together and scale vehicle, and then if those were successful, they were going to go into the Sectars bugs to ride on. So
I hope people buy those. I have no interest in Biker Mice, but Sectars, I would definitely get some of the creatures.
So the problem with Biker Mice is they released the pre-order for the Biker Mice, and they haven't promoted enough that they're actually making the bikes for them, and they're actually going to sell a set that's the bike with the figure
figure now.
So they haven't done like enough promotion of it, so it's going to be a struggle for them, right? They're hoping it's like word of mouth just spreads the nostalgia, but it's not going to work.
I had heard Nacelle was supposed to be doing cartoon properties with their stuff, because I know when they initially announced Sectars, there was word of a animated series coming along with it.
Well, that's their thing, right? They did Robotech was their first one, and then they did Biker Mice, and they got one other one plus the Sectars.
Yep.
So.
And I gotta say, I'm a big fan of Robotech. Like giant mechs, I like them. I'm not a huge like Transformers guy necessarily. I like them and I respect them, but like giant mech suits, like I loved Exo Squad. Absolutely loved
I
Exosuit.
was
I'm a big fan.
big into Transformers for a long time. Like when I was young, I had a lot of Transformers, and then when the internet, I started getting on the internet. One of the first things I did was like order the Transformers movie because it wasn't in print in the States. I ordered it from Canada, and then like I ordered the old VHS tapes off eBay and rewatched the show, and then I imported some of the stuff from Japan and encoded it and uploaded it. And
Some of the stuff from Japan is really good, right? I mean,
I agree.
it's
I
just like
do.
like Voltron. I love the old Voltron with the lions. That was awesome.
Yeah. I
I
mean, the
can't
vehicle
rewatch
Volt.
that show because every episode is Form Blazing Sword over. Like
Yep.
I can't.
Yeah, they had to
Yeah.
redo a lot of the, reuse a lot of same.
I loved it as a kid, but like trying to watch it.
The
Well,
other one I
yeah,
really like is G-Force.
yeah,
Gatchaman, Battle for the Planets. That was really good.
that's another good one. See, Bobby's a big fan of Gatchaman too. Yeah, he's been talking that up a lot lately. But yeah, there were so many good classic cartoons at the time. And that's something I don't feel we get enough of anymore. There's not really like a whole lot of new good cartoons, or I don't know. Maybe it's just the way they were when we were younger. They're just not like that anymore.
There's
And
not
I
really
don't
many
care for 'em.
cartoons being made though anymore. Really.
Everything's like it comes, it's a burst, and it's gone. So
Yep.
like that new Castlevania series, I loved it.
Oh
I thought
God,
that
that
was
was
a great show.
outstanding.
But it was like season drops, long wait, season drops, long wait. So you like think about it for a second, binge it, and then it's gone. Like
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Nothing
that's
else
the other thing too. With the access that we have now, everybody wants it all at once. Nobody wants to wait anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, like things like He-Man and again GI Joe and stuff like that. We were spammed with episode day after day after day after day, which was great. But they also had like a ton of episodes already planned out and we're ready to roll. So then, like later, we started getting weekly episodes, which are Saturday morning stuff. It was always new every Saturday morning. Or some shows you even might get like one new episode a week and then a new episode on Saturdays. At least that became the format more into the 90s, which again, you guys are a little bit older, so you may not remember that as much. All right, we've got one other person we're rolling into this stream right now, and he is a legend in his own pants. Brick something.
I'm glad he's a legend in his own pants and not mine. That'd be a little weird.
Sorry, I was just checking the legend. Yeah. Legendary indeed.
Yeah.
Legendary indeed. Yeah,
How's
I'll
it
go
going,
with
Rick?
it. Hey guys, good to see you. How are you guys doing?
Doing
Pretty
good,
good.
man. But
I
that's the
heard-
problem like we have with streaming services. Like I watched the first season of The Witcher, but then it's like a year before the second season comes out. It's like I've already moved on to 18 other things between now and then. It's like I don't remember what happened in the first series.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to go back and rewatch the first season.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Oh, I love going back and rewatching the first episodes. Like just recently, I started watching The Witcher all over again. Like the last, the newest season just came out, so I went back and started watching the first couple of seasons again because that was really good. And then, what else? Castlevania was another one that I recently had restarted. And then again, I always like doing the Stranger Things. I've rewatched that like a dozen times.
I'll
That
probably
Witcher
rewatch
cartoon they made was really good, but that was like a cartoon.
Oh yeah,
movie.
that was
really
just a one-off though for the cartoon. Yeah,
good. It was a movie, right? It was like an hour and 20
Yep.
minutes long or whatever. So
Yep.
it was really good.
So we got another legend coming in here real quick.
Oh, there's Alice. No, that's Cobb. I see Alice.
We got
jumping.
Cobb Webb joining
What's up,
us
Cobb?
as well.
What's up?
What's
And
going on,
Adam
Cobb?
Radical Toys mentioning he is multitasking watching Bill's live in here. Thank you for being here, Adam.
You a legend in your own pants too?
That was just for you, Brick.
I was like, what is this saying? I've never heard this before. It
Rick's
must,
going to
be,
make that his new intro for his own show.
must be an East Coast thing, man.
Actually, it's not. It's not
not
a
one?
East Coast thing at all. That one hails from across the pond a little bit. Danny may be more familiar with that.
Hey, Danny.
I used to
I
run
was
a.
thinking, go ahead.
I was going to say I used to run a Facebook group, banter group during COVID and everything like that. And one of the big things that people would say is that you were a legend in your own pants, and it was primarily UK based.
Huh.
And I just picked up on a couple of their sayings here and there, and that was one that came up frequently.
I was thinking the Bloodhound Gang, Legend in My Spare Time.
Uh,
I always like that.
Yeah, yep. So, guys, what do you got going on? I just did like the fastest unboxing I've ever done. I totally just like tore open my snake face, switched the heads out immediately because this face just looks terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Like
Sorry,
Only way to display them. The head's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say I actually like this face so much more than I like this face.
I like
Which-
both of them.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
they're
funny
both
because
good.
on the vintage toy, I don't like it when the snakes are all popped out on the vintage one. I actually like that one like much more tame. But this one, I do like this face more. I like the shield here, and I don't know, I might do some kind of legend with the head here, kind of very similar to Medusa's story. Something with that.
I'm
would
probably
you
just
mind
gonna-
holding up? I was just gonna ask if you could hold that the first head up. I wanted to see it because they're two separate heads. The snakes don't come out, right? But how do they? Are they just sort of sitting? Is it like a separate piece of
Yeah.
plastic or?
So yeah, this one's just solid mold like what we usually get. This one, somebody's getting a call. So
Wow, that looks awesome.
yeah,
Wow.
now these ones are definitely like just kind of plugged and glued into the back here. That
Oh, but they're
wrap-
coming out of the back. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So those ones originally used to come out of the shoulders. Then you got these guys that his shield dropped because he's got a very loose grip on that shield. But then he's got the ones that pop out of his chest.
Yeah.
I wish I still had. I boxed up the vintage stuff and took it back downstairs a while ago. Otherwise, I'd do a side by side of them.
Very cool.
But I really like this figure. Like him so much. He may not have the complete action, but he's got enough of it.
I'm going to use his other head on one of the extra snake guys that comes in that pack, like the really
The
generic looking
diabolical
ones.
snakes. Yeah. Honestly, I gotta say, I want all the snakes because I love the snake men. They're my favorite faction. But one thing that I gotta say I did not care for was that the use of the rat lore heads. Like, I'm sorry, they've got a couple of different snake man heads they could have used. So I didn't see the necessity to reuse those heads again and again.
Well, both the ones in that habit, and then all the snake troopers too. So it's like you get a lot of that same head sculpt.
Yeah, and I would like some variation. I really would like some variation of it.
My bad on that.
It's all good, man. It
I picked up
happens.
Messenger on my computer or my laptop, so I haven't shut that off at all yet. And then my son's wondering why I haven't watched his YouTube video yet. I was like, dude, I'm live right now, and now you're blowing up you're blowing up the screen.
Cobweb, we gotta.
Doesn't let it ring once. If I ignore him, it's just right back at him. Like, dude.
We gotta fix your live streams, man. You keep posting the links to your live streams, and then when I go to join them when you go live, it says private, and I can't join. I'm not part of the
Really?
cool kids club. Yeah, because like yesterday, I went to go.
Should we tell Oz guys or what?
Oh,
It's getting
oh
really
man,
awkward.
for real.
Yeah, we're all
I'm just
legends in our own pants, Oz. You're
So I
not.
got all everybody else.
Hey, look,
showing up, so I'm
everybody
gonna say no.
laughs hysterically. I mean, what?
Like yesterday, I had a bunch of people there. I was surprised when I popped up in the chat, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's so many people here."
Yeah, when I tried to join, it wouldn't let me join. It said private. I was like, son of a biscuit, it's happening again.
It's just you, Oz.
It's
Huh.
just me. It
We
doesn't like
blocked you,
me.
That's
That's
it.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I feel so left out.
You know what's
Yeah.
weird is when I'm on my computer, I can't see the Toy Frenzy Patreons on Instagram. I can see it on my phone, but I don't
You're
see it
having
all
that
on my
issue
computer.
too. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Danos, you
You-
were there yesterday. You were able to get on, right?
Yeah, I just clicked the link and hopped right on. But
Okay. So you are not the only person to have come to me with that issue lately. Not only have you had that issue where it's gone away on your computer, Allison, good to have you. We well, Lee's Customs, he was having that issue with the Toy Network group chat.
Hey.
And then Highly in Dread came to me today because he was having an issue where, again, he was looking on his computer and it wasn't on the computer version.
See, I thought
So-
you guys just kicked me out, and I cried a little bit, and then I realized it was on my phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Then you
same.
got a notification on your phone and you were like, oh, hey. Now that's funny that you guys don't see it on your computer, but when I bring it up on my computer, I totally still have it.
Do you have AOL or do you have something new?
Does anybody use
Me?
AOL still? Like dial up?
He's using Net Zero still.
I'm still on
I'm-
CompuServe,
Scott's not
so
here.
I don't know. That's
I'm
all
on
fancy talk to
Netscape,
me.
so like
Yeah.
I'm there, but the conversation like hadn't even started yet. I was waiting for somebody else to say something.
I just ran a cable next door, so whatever they're on.
Rick. Oh, hold that beauty back
Yeah,
up.
what is that?
Not
Oh, nice.
Transformers. Doesn't more than meets the eye. No,
Oh,
it's
man.
Astrobots.
Nice. Yeah, hold them up.
Thanos and I spoke about Astrobots last Sunday,
Okay,
and
so-
I've been sitting on this figure for a while, and it hasn't been unboxed.
Is that an
I
import?
see it says Toy Force there.
It says Toy Forge,
Toy
Oh.
Forge.
and then
Okay,
it
now
says
yeah.
then it says Toy Notch as well. So I'm not sure which is which, but I think Aaron Thomas, who created and designed this, may be out of the UK, because Daz, who I was hanging out with this morning, was telling me that he met this guy. So, but yeah.
Oh,
Are they part of the
snap.
Fireforge line of figures?
I don't believe so. It's its own thing. They've been
Maybe
Looks
Fox
like he
Forge or
also
I was gonna
has
say-
a license for Lost Planet 2. No shit.
Lost Planet.
Lost
Like
Planet was a,
treasure.
No, Lost Planet was a video game. Lost Planet 2 was a video game. Well, Lost Planet came out on the Xbox 360. It was like one of their first big games. Then they did Lost Planet 2 later. Oh man, freaking phenomenal.
Which one should I
Yeah, no,
open?
these things
We
are
got there,
wild.
Cobb.
Left or right?
Ooh.
Right.
I had to give me doubles of him because he's the all white figure.
Slamurai.
Yeah.
Pick a white ninja. Pick a white
Yeah, I think
ninja.
I
American
got
Ninja
one
1,
last
American
week,
Ninja 2.
You could bestie up on the shelf, so got me a couple of them.
Very
I'm not
nice.
gonna do no video on them or nothing, so I'll open them up on here. Getting up with my Skeleton Warriors.
Yeah, man. I saw that review earlier. Phenomenal, by the way. Allison,
Yeah,
what
right.
are you working
Oh.
on?
I haven't seen those. Sorry.
You didn't see the review?
No, I didn't realize they were out now, and I didn't see the review. So you're talking about the 2-pack?
Yep.
Were they a 2-pack? Yeah. Oh, cool. I gotta check that out.
No, I got the 4-pack. Gotta double up on those.
Yeah, I want to get more.
I might get
Not
another
getting
one.
any.
I like them.
I'm not getting any right now, but I will definitely be buying several in the future. You know, right now I just spent a bit much.
That's my
Yeah.
biggest problem with toys is I have to get it when it comes out, or I feel like I'm never gonna get it.
FOMO is real.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to Thanos too, I got my Dark Wolf coming. You ordered that Dark Wolf
Nice.
and told me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait on it." And he's all, "Yeah, I just got it because I didn't want to miss out." And I was like, "I'll just order it right now too." Then
It's not limited pre-order. I found out after our conversation it's not a limited pre-order.
yeah, I was like,
No
"Hey,
rush.
I was like, I'll wait."
But we
And I was like,
always feel like it's a limited pre-order lately because so many are.
it's so crazy. I wanted like I got that Batman, and I was like, oh, he looks like Dark Wolf. And then the next day, they showed that Dark Wolf coming out. I was like, okay, I
Yeah,
definitely.
that Batman does look like Dark Wolf now that you mention it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Barbarian Batman. I know
Yeah.
that's the reason I wanted him. I was like, oh man. he looks like Dark
Totally had that same thought when I saw them.
And I did a video on him, and in my video, I was like, "Oh yeah, he reminds me of Dark Wolf." I threw up a picture of Dark Wolf in case anybody didn't know. And then the next day is when he got dropped, showing that he was going to come out.
Did anybody see that picture on Instagram that I think it was Savage Crucible posted with
Oh damn!
their version of the Barbarian, and then he's like face to face with the Dark Wolf?
Yeah. I think it was Eamon O'Donoghue, right? Was the one that posted it.
Yeah. Both those figures look awesome. I can't wait to get those guys.
Farmer's got a little problem,
Oh, they can stab around a corner.
right? Sneak up on someone.
All right, so I'm starting to think that maybe Parsiville might be a bot because he definitely was here earlier and said these same exact 2 lines.
Or maybe he is that drunk.
Yeah,
Maybe he's that drunk he forgot he was already here.
I'll shave my head clean live with the foam and razor if a woman comes on live and does it with him, or what's he saying? If a
He's
woman
saying
comes
he's so
in-
drunk he'll shave his head clean live with foam and a razor if a woman comes in and smokes a cigarette with him.
I mean,
Okay.
one
Gotta,
does.
because that's
The only thing I can think of in my head right now is Richard Pryor screaming, "I can be a part-time woman" in the toy.
right. Oh wait, maybe Parsifal's not because
No,
I don't remember. No, he did say he before too.
Yeah, that German beer is pretty strong, man. I've had
It
some in the
is.
past, so
It is. So
gotta
Bud's
drink it warm.
asking if the Origins Wind Raider fits on the castle with the Talon Fighter on the other side. Looking at getting one, but want to know how it displays. Bud, I will.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead, Cobb.
I'll
Please.
send him pictures after this if he wants.
Yeah, there you go. See, we gotcha. I was gonna
I
say
looked down
now,
for a second and just heard crash. I was like, what the hell?
everything's
Blue
breaking.
eyes on him. Reminds me just like an Arctic ninja. Like, he's got. I know you can't see with.
Very bright.
I know my light. Yeah,
He's
my
like
light.
glow in the dark ninja. That's right.
Right?
He's like
Glow in
Burns
the Dark
in
Ninja is not stealthy at all.
This reminds me of an Arctic ninja for some reason. Like,
The color scheme.
was that
was there.
wrestler? Was that wrestler back in the day? Glacier.
There you go.
he's Sub-Zero.
Actually,
I
well,
know,
no,
right?
Glacier was not a wrestler. That was American Gladiator.
Yeah,
But wrestler too.
Was he? I don't remember that.
Glacier. He was that like actually I was saying, was he the Sub-Zero guy in WCW?
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
That's why they even brought it because Mortal Kombat was so big at the time.
Yep.
Right.
They were doing that. The same thing I found out about Al Snow. He was Avatar, remember? And that's why Vince McMahon wanted Avatar because he was supposed to be a Mortal Kombat kind of character too. But
Funny
He
thing
didn't
about
look
Ninja Toys is you never get a ninja in dark blue, and that's what they actually were because it blended in with the night sky better than any other color.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
We
Even
always
better
get
than
black.
black.
I didn't know that.
and now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
Half the
Rick.
battle.
G.I.
Joe.
yeah, this sword is warped.
Got to give it that heat treat.
Yeah, I'm making some hot water. Well,
How
here,
are you
Fred,
doing today, Allison?
I'm doing well. My Fangor doesn't want to stand.
Oh,
Aren't you
no.
having that issue, Cobb?
Teeth too heavy?
Bangor's not a legend in his own pants. That's why he can't stand up.
Obviously. It looks like his ankles are off. So I'll have to heat him, dip him in water later, and see if that fixes him because it's the ankles are not moving enough for me to get him to stand. So
Right.
Thanks, Mattel Creations.
Yeah.
Just
Gosh. What a bunch of jerks.
Give
I mean,
Yeah.
they're $1 million company and they can't get that damn shit right. What the hell?
I can't even fix the ankles on them. Oh my
My
god, whatever.
That's it. I'm out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
Yep.
more. I'm
No
done.
more
the beast.
origins ever.
The line is dead, guys. I don't know if you've heard.
Allison, I want you to color an A-Team color page on your stream.
The what?
I want you to color an A-Team coloring page on one of your streams.
I actually have an 18 coloring book I picked up. The art in it isn't super great.
No, it
Um,
never was.
but I also, I kind of, I want to do, like, I want to see if I can replicate, like, the opening of the 18, like, with the whole theme song and the pages, like, edit it together so it's like
Oh,
the
that'd be
opening.
awesome.
Yeah, because eventually that's sort of, I mean, right now it's just me trying to get shorts to get sort of a backlog.
I have
So there's
faith in your
stuff for people to
ability,
look
so
at.
you do it.
But a lot of the ones I have like stories in them. So eventually the goal is to like do short, like for the shorts anyway, sort of like a daily, almost like a daily comic where it's like there are a couple pages from the ones with stories every day, so that there's, you know, a reason to watch every day, because, you know, not everything is going to land with everyone.
I want to try
but-
that with some toy photography. Like I've been thinking about when I
Yeah.
get my ramen racer, like the General Lee, I want to do the actual opening to the Dukes of Hazzard show in toy photography.
Yeah,
not
so, I
not
mean-
stop motion, just like toy photography.
So yeah, I'm gonna try that with the 18 coloring book, sort of like a test
that'd be
run,
cool.
but I have to sort of go through. And again,
Yeah.
the art is kind of crap. So
Yeah, they were
it's
never
sort of-
really detailed with those comic books
yeah,
back
it's
in
weird.
the day.
It's hit or miss. Like a lot of
Yeah.
the Motu and Princess of Power stuff is pretty good. The Star Wars, the original, like 77, 78 Star Wars coloring books by Kenner are not great. But Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi are really good.
Some of
So
the
it's just kind of hit or miss. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi is really like.
some of the
um,
DC coloring books from like
Yeah, I've got.
late 70s, early 80s was amazing because it was like
Yeah,
basically
I've
like
got-
comic book pages. But
Yeah, I've got a Wonder Woman comic from the year I was born that has an actual full story in it. So I'm going to eventually do, like, I'm planning out how to do that and how to release it. And
that'd be pretty cool, though. I like that idea.
So I brought up here Toy Notch, so that we could take a look at some of the amazingness that's coming from.
Bring up that second one, man. That one looks awesome.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll do a lot of repaints like that and then sort of switch out heads. Essentially, that's the same body.
So how
Right.
tall are they? Because they said the 112 scale, right? That's what it said.
Yeah, this here. Let me.
It's gotta be
Sadly,
like
when it zooms
8
in,
inches.
it's so small.
Oh yeah,
Like this doesn't.
that's still a cool looking ass robot right there in that pose. I'll tell you.
If you can see him here.
Hold
Hold on, let's bring you up, Brick, so we can get that
See, I've
size
got the A
better.
team in my head now, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're
I
welcome.
like it.
They're a little shorter,
Oh, I like
than
that.
these guys, but
Look at those.
I mean, the robots.
Huge hands.
They're all the figures are articulated though, aren't they?
Yep, every single one at
Completely.
multiple points on their fingers. So you
Right.
can,
Full grip
could-
hand.
you could do a little bit of this. You could do a
You
little
can
bit
give
of
some
that.
rock and roll horns.
You could
Yeah,
totally
oops,
crack
I-
his
I-
knuckles.
Totally did the opposite. Yep, you could do some of that. Yeah. Free bird.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot you could do here. So
He is phenomenal. Yeah. So here's this black and yellow one, which I dig. Oh, I was hitting on the wrong. I
yeah,
was
that
hitting
one's
the-
great. I actually haven't seen that one. I know BBTS has one right now that has yet to ship.
Well,
that
this
is-
is sold out too.
Okay, so that's maybe an older one.
Well,
That's
that one
gorgeous.
is also sold out. But yeah, you can see the detail a lot better on this one. It didn't have the detail as much on there. Look at that.
That is
See
awesome.
see if you can make your way back to his left hand or to its left hand. The other left
Nope.
hand. Do you see how it also kind of you can spread the fingers out as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Are those
I do
magnets
see
in there, or
that.
is that just holding it together?
They're
Magnets.
no, they're not magnets. They're just the metal
Grommets?
rod kind of. Yeah, exactly. But then there's a ball
just-
joint on the thumb that you can kind of see it there.
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
able to
You can
position
see
out.
that.
Damn, that's some
That
articulation right
is
there. Jesus.
phenomenal.
They're a lighter
Yes,
plastics, so they're pretty light feeling. Lighter than that Skeletor I was just holding, but the articulation points are wild, like
Right?
all over this thing. Oh, never mind. I'm over these. You know why?
Why?
The
What's
toes
going
do
on?
not.
Right?
The toes do not individually articulate. They're all one piece.
Oh,
Well,
man.
Mondo
Only one
doesn't
toe-
make that
Only one
mistake.
toe articulation. That's it. That's garbage.
Boo!
Throw it in the
Ramen
trash.
Toys. Can you make me? No, I'm just kidding.
Ramen toys, multiple points of articulation in the feet.
I need toes to flex. Come on.
Ramen Toys is here to give us what other toys don't.
Poor. I mean, Ace is awesome, but like I was watching on Mega J, it's like, can you do this? Can you do this? How about this? Can you do this?
It's the problem, yeah. Like
He
so
was
many
getting that
people
at
want him to.
PowerCon too.
Oh
He
yeah.
really was.
Yeah.
Everybody coming up talk to him like that.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
even
he
some
got
of the
that-
stuff
he
that
got
he
that
had
attention.
on his table, right? Like they had the Marshall and 3-0 or whatever he's calling 30-30
Mhm.
there. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
this guy, I'm sitting there looking at the thing, and Ace is telling me about how you scan the barcode and you can pre-order the, with the PowerCon exclusive and all that. And this guy's like, "Oh, are you going to make Tex Hex and all these other characters, And then can we get into?" He's like naming like all these other '80s properties, and Ace is just like kind of like, "Whoa, overload here. Hold on."
Yeah,
I
last
know,
time
I
he was on Mega J, I was saying he should do a fan vote just because he gets bombarded every time he's
Mhm.
anywhere. I mean, I do it too. I've been like, "Hey man, Black Star, you want to do some
Yeah.
Black Star?" But
If he did Black Star, I'd be all over that too, man. I'll tell you.
Same here.
And I just saw him in a YouTube chat. He popped in, and then somebody commented like 3 or 4 questions as soon as he popped in. Hey, Ace. I was like, dude, if you're gonna ask him something, I don't think like 4 questions is the way to go.
Right? Like
Right.
give him time to actually answer the first one before you're hitting him with the next 20.
It's a whole
But,
nice little paragraph. I was like, damn.
I mean, I get it though. Like, he's
the most
gotten so-
accessible toy maker, pretty
Right.
much.
right, and it's because he loves his stuff and he wants to get the word out.
But I've been on some of Bobby Vallis from Valaverse's like panels and stuff, right? Watch a lot of
Oh,
those.
yeah.
He gets the same stuff, It's like
Well, because again, he's accessible.
right. Instead of
He's
just
willing to
appreciating what he's released, it's like, oh, when are you going to do this? 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 And it's like, how about you buy some of the stuff I got going right now, and then we'll see what's coming next.
So this is from that Lost Planet 2 game.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. That thing looks amazing.
Yeah, it's also why it's $200.
Whoa.
But
Holy
how large is this figure?
I'm guessing the scale for this guy is pretty beefy. Yeah, because there's one of the regular figures inside it, because this is a mech suit.
That's cool.
And how big are the
tall
regular figures?
Is that in the description?
Let's scroll down here and take a look. Oh, 10 inches tall. Oh, and now it skipped us to this little thing. I ain't gonna lie. I like this little speeder bike type thing here. It's a little mech robot thing. But then it folds down into this.
Oh, that's cool.
But I wanted us to get back to... I am so lost on navigating this site. Like, all I did was scroll down and we went to a completely different
Yeah.
product. So, let's see. 10 inches tall, LED light up functions at canopy control panels, engines, and thrusters. 1/18 in scale with other 3.75-inch Lost Planet action figures.
Oh, nice.
It's actually really cool though.
That figure actually looked
Yeah.
pretty decent too when you had that picture of the figure up.
Oh, I'll get back to them in just a minute, but there you can see the LEDs lighting up.
Yeah, when you said 10 inches, were you referring to the bot or the figure inside?
The legend in your pants.
It's the robot.
You should go metric for that and down to never mind. Yes.
So
Wow, look at those
it's
figures,
definitely
man.
the
Those are
robot
awesome.
is 10-inch.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
these are all
Wow,
Lost
wow,
Planet
wow,
2
wow.
figures and characters. Like, and this is a
So-
really cool line. Brick, thank you for bringing our attention to these guys.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Brick, thanks, man. More money I need to just not spend.
Yeah, I
Well, now
figured I
gotta go
needed to
buy
open
a
it.
$200 10-inch robot.
You don't. No one does ever need to do such things. But if you want, I figured I needed to finally open these up because I'm gonna talk a little bit about them tonight on Ken's. But you were talking about batteries. I don't have any LR44 little booger batteries, but this has LEDs in the head,
Okay.
and the eyes
Hold on.
light up.
So he's got some LED function too.
Yeah. His eyes light up. So there's this little.
I wonder if they got a
tiny little
picture
watch
showing
batteries.
that. Hold on, let me bring that back up and see if it shows it.
Oh. It's just really cool stuff on this sculpt, and
Yeah, even the face looks awesome. It's
Check
like
it
a
out,
skull
like-
robot looking thing. It's crazy.
so I'm actually sort of videoing the unboxing of it too. But check out the arms where they move. They move in here and over here. They've got these cool little things that kind of rotate or swivel on. Arms are turning here. You got the elbow.
Damn.
Sort of double. I mean, doesn't go all the way. No, anyway, the hands, flex. They're missing tattoos. Boo.
Get a
Well,
pen.
you lost me when you told me his toes didn't articulate. So I was
Hey, that's
done.
what
I
I
really-
I was all out.
yeah.
I understand. You can't make the only feats with that thing. What is that? Weak.
Right? What is that?
We do have a toe joint. We've got ankles.
Hey,
We've
you know
got
what?
rocker.
He's-
We've got
He's already better than
this.
Spider-Man toys that don't have that toe joint.
So I mean, what do you want to do? What do you want to do with this guy? Yoga? Robot yoga?
I gotta say, his arms are strangely long.
He's got like
Proportionally
a
to the
gorilla
body.
proportion.
Yeah.
Big
well-
chest and arms, and then
Okay.
Well, yeah.
On the box, it shows a light up effect to his eyes. Oh, here we go. I got a picture of his eyes lit up, Brick.
I would use
Oh, this
him
guy?
as like
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
army builder with the
Yep.
tucked sentries from Cosmic Legions. That'd be a perfect robot for them.
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
Oh, that
yeah, he
awesome.
looks fantastic.
That does look
There's a
really good.
version of this thing. Remember the one we were showing last Sunday on the news, Thanos, like with that black wash?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that looks so good. I'm looking at this. I was like, no, this is. I'm more than happy with the level of detail here. I mean, there, just
Right.
because there's so many little hits on these things. That's
And-
what blows me away with these indie toys. It's just like they are. They're not like they're really making each figure
How did you
count.
find these guys, Brick? Because I only knew they existed because you had talked about them like a while back.
I'm a
Right?
big old nerd, and I don't know.
Fair enough.
Brick is like introducing me to a new toy line every other week, and I love him for it.
I mean,
Like,
there's
I-
Discords. Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's not
true.
like I have some insight. I'm just like looking at stuff like the Toy Migos Discord is dope. For new stuff, especially Chamba, particularly out of Australia, he's always like clued into a lot of the stuff out of Hong Kong, China. I don't know. There's just a bunch of stuff out there I
You
found
can see
this,
a lot of that stuff
Oh.
on BBTS when they announced the new pre-orders coming in too. I could see a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw these come after I'd sort of heard. Like, I was surprised, like, where do I find this? And I was looking on all sorts of import sites, and then they popped up on BBTS, and I was like about a month later. But and the other thing is, whenever I'm not working, like if I have a break, that's when all of a sudden I go digging. And I found these during the Thanksgiving holiday last Thanksgiving, and had been hunting and looking for them. They finally hit BBTS. That was like, oh, they're not sold out there. Let me get it. And then I didn't get it until, God, this just a month ago, barely.
So when I zoomed in here, because I noticed something with these eyes.
Yeah, they're
Oh.
pretty off.
Let's just
Ooh.
say this person probably comes with a sniper rifle because they can shoot in 2 different directions.
Oh man.
Like the zoom function's being weird on this particular screen because the way the picture layout is, but
Yeah, it seems
I
like a
just happen,
website interface thing too, huh?
yeah, it's definitely part of that. So, but I didn't know anybody was even making toys of Lost Planet too. So that's kind of cool.
I didn't
I
know that
mean,
they had that either. That license. So that's new to me too. That's cool.
right now, if you collect, because now that we know these are scaled for 3.75, 1/18, um, I'm sorry, this would make like a really cool kind of like. I know a lot of people have been looking at Empire Toys. Like I know Dom has been bringing up a lot of Empire Toys with Rock Gut Station and stuff like that lately, and kind of that whole universe that Empire Toy Works does with their dios and all like that. A very down, dirty, like trucker backroad style spaceport kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
I just see this being like something that would be walking around there.
Mm-hmm. I'm not
Like
even
I
familiar
definitely.
with Empire Toys. Is that like
Oh man.
118 stuff?
Well, he does it for like any scale really, but it mostly like it started with him making a giant. Let me just see if I can bring him up
Oh,
again.
it's a customizer.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, gotcha,
And
gotcha. Yes, I think I've seen that through Dom. Like it's their whole space station kind of
yes. Yep.
worlds. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Oh, I love Rot Gut Station. I first started finding it like years ago when I was looking at like custom play sets on Facebook. And like his stuff popped up and it wasn't nearly the scale that it is now. This is like when he first got it started with a little Thomas the Train Engine table. Now it's taken over an entire room, like on the ceiling, along the walls, everywhere. And he's got like little floating platforms so that the ships can land.
That's amazing.
It's incredible. Like if you have not seen that and you're into sci-fi, that would be amazing.
And just, heads up, this thing on the foot says 2018. So,
It's been out for a couple years, yeah.
I mean, it just sort of hit BBTS and finally shipped, like I said, a month ago, but the copyright on it says 2018. So,
So I did pick something else up, toy adjacent.
Oh, we like
I
toy
got-
adjacent.
Some more of these shoe hangers.
Okay.
oh yeah, that's where you're putting your accessories.
That's where I'm putting a lot of my figures these days. So I'm actually thinking about taking down most of my toys that are displayed and just putting them in these things because I can see them. I can just grab them, take a shot,
Mhm.
take them out of the setting, put them back.
Right?
So
Definitely.
pretty cool, pretty cheap. You can see behind me, I've got one that's got like a ton of toys packed into it already.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I like that idea, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a good way for you to keep everything displayed.
And I just dropped all the hooks on my dog.
Well, probably deserved it.
She's all right.
I finally got me some toolboxes for all my accessories and everything I had.
Oh yeah, finally broke out the tackle box style storage.
Yeah.
It's the best way
So-
to do it because you start getting too many.
Those figures I was asking Brick about are called Stardust from Fox Forge Toys. That's why I thought they were the same company.
Pulling it up now.
They're
Well, can we
112.
zoom in
like,
on while we're talking about that? Could we zoom in on what Cobb's got there?
Sure can.
I'm just swapping parts over here still. I know you see it on my video too if you want brick, but I'm swapping out with
Yeah, I
the
will for sure. Oh,
Master-
that's yep.
Masterverse Scareglow. Swapping them around.
Yeah, but
That
the
head
actual
does
figure
scale
looks great.
really well.
The head on that Scareglow body looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I hooked them all up with like the cape, right? Do it real quick. Make him completely Scareglowed out. He looks freaking dope.
And Jeff, all music fans finally joining us this evening. What is going on, brother? Good to see you here. Also wanted to say hello to one of the best names in YouTube, Well Hung Banana Hammocks. Talking about he is adequately filled just right where it counts, and ain't that the truth? Also, Night One in here, I highlighted his comment earlier, says Glacier blood runs cold, because we were talking about Glacier.
Yeah, that was his little segment they had.
Yeah. Ed, you mind sending me the link to that real quick? Shoot it to me through Instagram. It'd just be a lot easier than me doing the Google search.
Yeah, hold on a second.
I'm feeling lazy on my Googling tonight, guys. I know
Yeah,
I'm normally like,
I just found these
pro.
new mechs. They're called Live Battlefield.
Thank you guys
nice.
for this too.
Oh, yeah.
Gift from the Frenzy this week.
That's
Freaking
gorgeous.
surprised the hell out of me.
Bit of that early birthday present getting it out to you.
I walked on my porch like, what the heck did I order? I realized I didn't.
It was a rush job, but we got it done.
Yeah, well, thank everybody
You guys are
again.
awesome.
If you're here and you didn't see me thank already, thank you guys.
No, we appreciate you, Cobb, doing a lot for the community out there. You know, had to pay it forward. Of course, you know, K-Roll had you back. Ken is mentioning apparently it's a good night for everyone to go live. It's always a good night on Saturday night for everyone to go live. You know what? Actually, I think
Ken, he's out of control.
he is definitely out of control. He's going live tonight. Special episode of TKO. And that's when we're really going to dive into this indie toy topic. We are going to get all the way elbow deep into it.
Yeah,
It's
Ken.
crazy. The fingers go in and out like this on it too, huh?
I
Mhm.
know, that's nuts. I love it when they give us that kind of articulation in a toy.
At first, I saw you doing like these. I like it been like that.
You should
but
have
then
it now.
Like that too.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
Yep, just got it, Ed. Thank you, brother. Punching in here. Ooh, 1/12 scale. Okay. Oh, look at it. We got a Boba Fett homage. ToyCon New Jersey outfit. Oh, these are looking sweet. Hold on. Let's get the share screen on here. Look. We are already starting off talking about some indie toys here because I've never heard of these guys before.
I don't think I've heard of these either. Oh, yes, I have seen these.
They're reasonably priced too for what they are.
I was gonna say $25. That's not bad at
Yeah,
all.
they are really. I remember.
I mean, this guy's sold out, but what do you expect? It's a Boba Fett Look, he's got the Boba Fett tax. He was $30. He was also a ToyCon New Jersey exclusive too, so you know that's gonna go into that factor.
Oh, you had to go to New Jersey for that? That's just rude.
They should pay you to get that if you got to go to New Jersey.
Right?
Yeah, I want the $5 Jersey tax knocked off of my $5 additional Boba Fett tax.
Or there should be free shipping so you can just get it online because nobody deserves to have to go to New Jersey. If you love New Jersey, go. Enjoy it. But for the rest of us.
Right. And look, they are right on ball here with a $15 gray for your customizers that want to do your own thing.
I sent you another link to bring up too, Oz.
Yep, I saw that as well.
I was looking down. I heard gray. I heard gray. I thought you were talking about gray aliens again.
They're probing out there, people. They are. Watch out for them.
But there's a gray figure.
I like these
They're
guys.
not bad looking figures for the price. I mean,
no, not at all.
They're good little background, figures and stuff. Sure.
I'm trying to remember who featured there was the folks who created these were featured on someone's channel. They did an interview, but
I know Ted at Hella Dope was picked one up and was showing it off on his Instagram because they were trying to get the line or something, I think, but I don't know if they ever did or not.
Yeah, these guys would be fun to sub in, especially like if you're getting into Cosmic Legions now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just little background characters in a space dive or something.
If I remember, they are true, like close to true 112. So they might run a little bit shorter than your Cosmics.
Yeah, but like if you look at the
dwarves
Tusk,
exist in space too.
Yeah, the Tusk are like, to me, they're kind of bigger figures anyway, compared to a human. I mean, right?
Right. Yeah. Like I would look at these guys as probably like human sized. Because I mean, like, if you saw those new, more human-looking figures in their big, giant space armor, which, by the way, that armor is huge and tough looking on those cosmics. Oh, oh, Ed.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So you can
like
pick that set is a set, but you can pick them up individually for $100.
okay. All right, let me go ahead and share this screen.
I need some flight stands. Come on, man.
Look at these bad boys.
Oh wow.
Right?
Wow.
Look at the paint apps, the detail.
Is
Look
that
at
a
that price tag.
three pack? For
Yeah, it's a
this
three
is-
pack, but
This
you can get
is
each one
a
for
three-pack.
$105 or something.
Fair. I mean, you know, like they're amazing. I mean, like you 100% see where that money is going, but
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that thing where
Look
it's
at
like,
this. Look at that posability
oh, that's
too.
really cool.
Right?
Thanks for giving me
man.
ideas.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick one of these bad boys up. Jesus.
I'm liking this guy right here.
Yep.
Got like the little cloak action going. Oh, geez, it's a giant rifle. I didn't see that part yet. He must be their sniper.
112
It's not the
scale
size of the
mecha.
rifle; it's the motion of the ocean.
That's how you become a legend in your own pants, Jones.
Are you gonna see how many
Allison
rounds?
and I grew up when waterbeds were popular. That
Yep.
saying made more sense back then.
Oh yeah.
I actually had a waterbed growing up because my dad worked at a waterbed company.
My
Oh,
uncle
no.
worked at a waterbed company. The worst was whenever you had to like pump it out in the middle, like, and it took like hours.
yeah, or
Mhm.
the heater broke and then you got in there and it was freezing.
Oh my god, that was the worst.
So does it say how tall they are?
1/12 scale. So that should leave it. Again, a 1/12 scale is about 6 inch.
Yeah, but is it 1/12
It's
scale?
weird. Yeah, I wish they would just tell us the sizes, especially since it's a mech. Like I don't know what that's supposed to mean. For a human, I get that, but
Right.
Right. When they say 1/12 scale, is that compared to like human, or are we
Yeah.
talking Gundam, or
Yeah.
like is this just a robot or is it a suit?
It says it's a mech, so technically it's
Right.
gotta
That should be a suit.
right.
But yeah, are we talking like power loader 1/12 scale, or is like their little dude sitting inside this thing? Like when I say little dude, I mean like the little tiny figure that used to come with your Zoids, to pilot.
Yeah.
or Optimus Prime, little dude
Right?
in
The
a mecha
original
suit.
Optimus Prime, not the one that we got, but or even those beautiful, beautiful. Oh God, what are they? The turtlenecks, the little turtles
Mhm.
inside of them. God, those things are gorgeous too. I never thought I needed Mecha Ninja Turtles until they gave them to me.
Yeah, those are cool.
Bunk with Toys is saying, "Damn, go away for a bit and come back, and there's 25 people on the stream." That's how it goes, man.
The
That's it.
Gremlins get us wet.
Yep, we got a little wet, and ooh,
And just not even wet, just moist. You just get a little moist.
overly moist.
A little moist.
Moistly Speaking's not here, so sadly, it's not as moist as it could be out there.
Yeah, We're not to get a bucket and a mop moistness yet, but not far.
It's not far. No, not at all.
So I kind of buried the lead, and I talked about this before, but so I got this came in first,
Ooh, hold up.
and I sat on opening these for a while. It's the same line, Astrobots. But
Now, see,
so
this one doesn't look like it. Is that from Toy Notch as well? Because I didn't see that
Same
on their
company.
page at all.
Same company. It's
Okay,
for
so-
Astrobots, but check this out. So yes, it's a cool tarantula drone,
Right.
but actually, it's weapons for that figure I was
oh,
holding
it's
up
a
earlier.
weapon system.
Oh wow.
Oh, that is ridiculous. Oh, I love this.
And that's why I didn't open this for the longest time until I got the figure. So
Right.
I
Okay.
got the figure. So
Oh my God. Brick,
It
are you
goes without
standing up right
saying.
now?
I am. I'm doing the standing desking. I kind of rearranged some
Okay.
things. So I don't know. I'm trying something.
No, he's on a chair with wheels. He's just messing with you all.
You know what? People have done less to mess with me. So
No, I was just gonna say earlier, it's like toys are definitely much cooler now than they were when we were kids.
yeah, some of them are. I mean, part of what I liked about toys is sometimes the simplicity of it. But when you have a finely engineered piece of plastic in your hand, like some of the toys we get today, you cannot be amazed by it. Because we've seen like pretty much the full evolution of toys from when they came from with the 70s and the popular lines of those days all the way through to what we got today. And it's just like we have come a long, long way in the engineering of a toy.
Mm-hmm.
And what we decide is value and what we like about it. Because I know, well, speaking of Dom, he just had Toy Polloy on recently.
Yes.
And he was talking about how he actually likes the simpler design of a lot of older toys. He doesn't like the
Mhm.
overcomplicated articulation, like everything like that. He likes the very toyetic toy. And that's great because there's still plenty of stuff out there that's facilitating that need. But there are also a lot of people who are like, man, I absolutely loved like the original Kenner line. I just wish they had more articulation for posing. And then that's what we got several years later. It took them a long, it took them a long while to give us the right stuff. But yeah, definitely.
I'm glad we're actually getting highly articulated stuff now. It's just a lot of fun to be able to put them in all those different poses.
I agree. Yeah.
So I remember when I was collecting toys after I'd gotten back to it as an adult in the like early McFarlane stuff. It was like amazing sculpts, but they have like maybe one point of articulation.
Right.
Yeah, some of those old McFarlane Spawn figures were amazing for detail, paint, and sculpt.
Oh, they
didn't
were.
pose for
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
Guess who did most of that work too?
Mm-hmm.
Four
Four
Horsemen.
Horsemen.
Yeah.
And I remember the original medieval Spawn coming out. I love that figure.
I got to tell you, I was such a huge fan of Image Comics when they first started hitting because they were giving us stuff we'd never seen across the other comics. And I remember the first time I started seeing some Spawn stuff for the toys was in a Wizard magazine back in like '93. And like Todd's got like the test samples on his living room. He's got boxes and stuff like that and crates in the background.
What, he had Wonder Woman in boxes? Oh
no, I'm sorry. I was getting distracted here.
Were they fridges? Oh,
the
see my Green Lantern picture I posted a while back.
Yes,
Kyle opening the fridge and the girl like falling out of it,
just like in the comic.
Yeah, tried to get it close.
It was a good picture, and I enjoyed the commentary.
That was the cancellation of Hump Day that week.
I saw someone post a picture on Instagram today. I thought it was you at first, but then I realized it was G.I. Joe because it had the twins Tomax and Zaymon tag team in Baroness like in front of Serpentor or Cobra Commander or something. And I was like, oh, Thanos is really going. Oh, that's not Thanos.
They must have been.
There's a lot of people doing it. I actually got invited to a group of people that they do like the post like every Tuesday. I've done a couple with them so far. But
in this group, did you have to wear masks when you met? And
we didn't. It's just like a text chain, but they.
Is there a secret handshake?
Yeah, totally.
You grab at the crotch.
Yeah.
Only figs. Hashtag only figs.
Nice.
I don't know if I want to have that secret handshake.
Depends who you're doing it.
Gotta wear some gloves. The brick guy bought some gloves.
I used to do a lot of collabs, mostly with toy marks and stuff, but I haven't been doing too many other people's themes lately. Just kind of have like my own.
The problem with
spin.
most of the collabs now is there's so many people doing them. It's like, how do you even keep
You
up?
get
right?
lost.
Yeah.
Like if you follow a specific hashtag, sometimes it really floods your feed on that stuff.
I don't think my hashtags even work anymore. Like I post like a whole wall of them, but I don't think they actually work.
That's what I've been hearing. Yeah, Trevor was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I posted some pictures without hashtags just to see if it made a difference in my views
like
and
count?
likes and stuff, and it didn't make any difference.
Yeah, I never have any real difference. Like, but then again, I'm always posting the same hashtags. So like, if you're not
Yeah.
already looking for it, it's not gonna matter.
Exactly.
I don't use the broad term hashtag stuff. Like, I don't post like, Motu or whatever like that. That like, and maybe that's on me, but I just don't really care. If you follow me, you're gonna find me.
Yep.
That is my least favorite part about posting stuff is putting all the hashtags on. A
Yeah,
lot
I
of times
know.
just copy and
Me
paste
too.
from another picture.
I know
So
my
I wanna-
son on me to do it for my YouTube videos. My son's like, "No, you have to." I was like, "Why?" I was like, "I haven't so far, so I have been." But I'm like, I don't think there's a difference.
Yeah, when I post my live thumbnails, I put like maybe 2 hashtags of basically the topic, and that's it, right? Because my son insists that I have to have some hashtag on there.
Yeah. My damn kids. Huh?
They live in the world. I just participate.
We just pay for everything.
That's right. Yeah.
Since as if we're not buying our own toys, we're gonna buy the kids'
No.
toys too.
I'll buy you toys too.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So
Okay.
I wanted to highlight this comment here because Lawrence this past week did the movie review with Roadhouse. If you guys haven't seen that, first off, if you haven't seen Roadhouse yet, which I'm clearly finding out that Travis here has not seen Roadhouse.
Okay, but Travis
Patrick's-
also thought that Star Wars is a ripoff of Spaceballs, so let's start there.
That's true.
He did.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, apparently we're gonna have the roast of Travis on tonight.
It's not a
but-
roast; it's a gentle ribbing.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're not alone. I haven't seen Roadhouse, folks. So roast
What?
away.
You haven't
How do
seen
you all
Roadhouse.
miss
Britt?
Patrick Swayze
Yeah.
and Sam Elliott in a movie together playing bouncers?
It serves
Kicking ass and
Patrick-
taking names?
Like
It's
Patrick
a mystery.
Swayze's cake is through the entire movie. It's
My
not just the
goodness.
same with Patrick Swayze cake. It's like cake, and more cake.
Yeah, but
Right.
you've seen the Raiders of the Lost Ark and the other Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah, that's
course.
true. Lawrence has not seen Raiders
Lawrence
of the
hasn't
Lost
seen
Ark.
those either, so
He hasn't.
Oh,
Has he
really?
seen
That's a bit
Goonies?
disturbing.
Yeah, that's right. I remember seeing it.
Lawrence hasn't seen Goonies
That's
either.
like hardcore punk rock right there.
I was gonna say he is so hardcore punk. He has refused to watch these movies, even though he grew up right through their heyday.
Yeah, man. The older stuff was better. Like the old.
He
toys
has
back in the
probably
day.
he has seen Steel Magnolias at least
right.
6
Indiana
times
Jones
now.
probably came out when Gleaming the Cube was out, and since he's a skateboarder, he had to choose Gleaming the Cube over Raiders.
You know what? I love
That I
Gleaming the
saw.
Cube.
Now you're talking.
That is a friggin' awesome movie. I absolutely love.
Is that the one with
Gleaming
Josh Brolin or the one with Christian Slater?
Slater's
It's-
in that one.
Slater.
I've
Christian
seen it.
Slater.
There was
Yeah.
that year we all watched every Christian Slater movie ever.
Yeah,
Solving
Heathers is
murders.
an awesome movie.
Heathers is a good
Heathers.
My favorite.
Pump Up the
true
Volume.
romance.
True
I was
Legend
just
of
gonna
Legion.
say,
And we're getting
Allison, one of my
toys.
favorite movies ever. Pump up the volume.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Oh yes, pump up the
That's a
volume.
Talk hard. Talk
Great
hard.
soundtrack.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Kick out the jams, mother. That's for Lawrence right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get it.
Concrete Blondes, great cover of Everybody Knows.
Everybody knows.
And that was the year I was into Concrete Blonde a lot, despite nobody at my school, because it's, coastal Louisiana, nobody knowing who the hell that was.
Wave of Mutilation, the UK surf
it.
mix.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So they
Entire-
are
yeah,
coolers,
classic album.
not bouncers, and that's true because they kind of controlled them.
I always felt like we missed out in the 80s on having a Roadhouse cocktail crossover, because you have the best bartender in the world and the best bouncer in the world, and like it should have just come together. And then there, cocktails at the Roadhouse, and then it was like you got Tom Cruise like flipping bottles and like Patrick Swayze serving cake.
Yeah, and they both had the older mentor. It would have been a perfect
Yeah.
thing.
Yep, and then the two older mentors could have like had a fist fight in the middle of it,
Yeah.
and then Elizabeth Shue and Kelly Lynch could have arm wrestled.
Or
Haven't
mud
seen
wrestled.
Cocktail either.
You're not missing anything except
No.
Tom Cruise flipping bottles. So, but it would have been better if there had been Patrick Swayze cake in that. So,
So, pop actor just pulling out the movie quotes. It's my way or the highway.
yeah.
But yes, he
Okay,
did.
Lawrence has now seen the Goonies. We can all rest easy.
Oh, thank.
I mean, I can't talk too much. I've never seen Top Gun, but that's purposeful.
You're just
I haven't
rebelling
seen
against the
Top Gun
Cruise.
either, and yeah, at a certain point, it was purposeful as well. But
Yeah, I'm just, Tom Cruise doesn't need me watching his movies. Like he'll survive.
Like, you
Just
guys
go
are
watch
all
Hot
younger than
Shots.
me,
the
and
better
Top
version.
Gun came out when I was in 6th grade. So
Yeah,
you guys were babies when that
I
thing
think
came
we're the
out.
same. We're the
I'm
same.
really
age, I think.
curious, Axion, but I don't know. Born in '76.
73.
Okay.
Okay, so you're a little bit older than me.
So just go watch Hot Shots. It's the better version of Top
Hot
Gun.
Shots
anyway.
is much better.
Yeah.
I really
Hot
And Hot
Shots. Hot
Hot
Shots.
Shots.
part-
But maybe
Part-
part
Travis,
two.
maybe Top Gun was a ripoff of Hot Shots.
There was that Iron Eagle movie that had what Jason.
Iron
Gedrick
Eagle was really
and-
good.
Oh,
too.
Iron
I've
Eagle was
seen
awesome.
Iron Eagle, so
Yeah.
like that makes up
Louis
for not
Gossett
seeing
Jr.
Top. There were
Louis-
two
right?
of those, and I
He
saw
was
both.
man.
I was gonna say
We
how
just-
many Iron Eagles?
We just let teenagers start flying jets, so they go from like, most teenage coming of age movies. They're trying to get their license. He's like, no, I'm gonna fly a jet,
Yeah.
a
Well, it
fighter
was the
jet.
80s.
Not
in
only
combat.
fly a jet, but go fight the enemy Russia
Right,
with
I'm
a
in
jet.
combat with
Yeah,
this
but
jet.
But in the 80s, it's like
Be
you're
back in a
flying.
second.
You're a teenager. You have to fly a jet. You have to save the community center and a dance off. Like you have to learn
Right.
how to break dance. So like like those evil land developer. They're in Astoria trying to rip down the Boondocks. Like
That's true.
Yep.
You know.
Matthew
teenagers
Madson's
in the
here
80s
for
had all
Iron
the
Eagle.
responsibility.
They did. That's why Gen Xers are so hardcore. They had to do it all. The
Right.
burden
Bullies
of
in
the
the
world.
80 movies always get me watching them these days. They are fucking psychopaths.
The
Who was that?
bullies?
Bullies?
Is that what you?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Bullies
the
and
bullies
Bullies
Not
are
only the
hardcore.
bullies, any villain in the 80s was a psychopath. The amount of fully grown ass men that wanted to do bodily harm to young children for the stupidest of reasons.
Yeah.
So they could build that shopping center.
Yeah, I mean, look at Home Alone. Those guys are ready to kill Kevin McAllister. He was like 9 years old in that movie. They're going to
Let's
take him
be
out.
fair though.
Right?
If you were trying to break into that house and that kid was fucking you up, like you fucked them, you would want to kill him too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
agree,
their hatred
100%.
in the second movie where they're like just gonna go out in
No.
the middle of Central Park and
Yeah.
shoot him is kind of just like, I don't want to say they are justified in killing a child,
Right.
but their hatred, the way they feel about him,
Their
I
want
can
for it is
see
justified. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't agree with them, but I can
Not at all.
empathize with them.
right. Because if somebody fucked me up like that, I'd definitely want to kill them too.
I would have cut
Oh,
my
the good old
losses
80s coming of
into
age
that
movies, like
movie.
License to Drive, wasn't it? License to Drive.
That was
with
a
the two
good anything
Corys?
with the quarry, the two
Yeah.
quarries in it.
There's another good.
License to Drive. I'm mixing it up. Oh yeah. Got it. Remember now. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's
That
another,
one, and then what was the other? Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't Buy Me Love, which
Yeah.
that one has
Yeah.
that one is aged like mayonnaise left out on the counter.
Yep.
And
Most
Dream a Little
of these
Dream of Me,
movies
right?
because
We
they
did that
just
one
don't
together.
work.
Recently, Lawrence and Matthew watched Revenge of the Nerds, and I rewatched it, and I
Oh,
regret
wow.
that I did
God.
because there is a lot in that movie that
Nerds.
like okay.
The
All right,
bullies,
so-
the jocks in that movie were amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. I kind of am on the side of the jocks on that movie because after seeing some of the shit those nerds did, I'm like, maybe they weren't all, like maybe
What?
the jocks were okay. Like,
The one black nerd was so traumatized he went on to become a bully in Cobra Kai
yeah, exactly.
from that. So I'm just gonna say it's a perpetual cycle.
If
So
you want to
circle-
watch a movie though that you will I laughed. I haven't laughed this hard in so long. Get really fucked up and watch The Conqueror with John Wayne as Genghis Khan. Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh Lord!
It was so funny. It was. I just like I couldn't stop laughing through that whole movie. It was terrible.
It was something, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's another comedy duo that doesn't get as much respect, but that's honestly because they didn't do too many movies together. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. The two of them in Twins and honestly now Junior is kind of making waves again since,
I don't remember
current
Junior.
events. Junior's the one where Arnie gets pregnant.
Oh yeah. Oh, Arnie.
I'll be right back.
Unclick.
I've been watching a lot of John Candy movies lately, so
yeah, John Candy was another gold.
Yeah, I love John Candy.
Oh man, I miss him. It's funny, like he's been gone more of my life than he was a part of, but it's like his movies were so iconic and classic.
Yeah.
And then even then the cartoon,
John Candy's Scare Camp or
Camp Candy. That was
Camp
it.
Candy.
Camp
Yeah,
Candy.
that's what it was.
Everybody calling out Twins, comedy gold. It was, man. Did you see me on the 2 wheels? And Arnie's trying to get his license. Ooh, Splash. That's another good movie.
Twins.
Yeah, I watched. Speaking of Splash, I just watched Joe versus a Volcano like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I watched that again for the first time in like 15 years, like 2 years ago, like during COVID.
Never saw that one.
Got that brain fog.
I tell you what, man, I want that freaking luggage. That's all I'm saying.
Right?
Next time I go to PowerCon, I want that luggage. I'll use that to get the PowerCon and be more dependable than the Greyhound.
I take the Joe versus the Volcano and like Castaway is like he was prepping for that with Joe versus the Volcano, right?
Yeah, that was
His
the
luggage didn't make it anywhere. He got stuck on that island afterwards.
Yep.
I never saw Castaway. Actually, the movie I've never seen.
Castaway is a great.
Same here.
I will say though, no matter what, I refuse to travel with Tom Hanks.
Right.
Period. That dude is bad news bears for travel.
That movie he did recently called Finch or whatever it was, where he's by himself with the robots. That was a really good movie too.
Yeah, it was really good.
I haven't seen that one yet. I gotta check that
I'm
out.
missing a lot of things. I gotta write some of this.
Yeah,
down.
right.
Like
We're gonna have to come up.
Tom Hanks
newer
being able to,
ones.
Tom
No, like
Hanks being able
Finch,
to
I've
carry
heard of it.
his movies by himself is just amazing, right? Castaway, he was the only basic guy in the whole movie, most of it. Same with Finch, right? I mean, he was the only guy in the whole movie.
Tom Hanks became one of my most favorite actors at a very young age because of Big.
Yeah.
Big, just like it stole my heart. And now here I am, 20 years later, and 30 years later, I'm talking about toys, and here was this kid that grew up to be an adult.
We all wanted to have that job, even though that job didn't really exist.
Yeah. And now here we've kind of made it just our hobby and our pastime.
But let's all be honest, that transforming robot building looks way cooler now than it did as a kid.
Yeah, right.
I recently rewatched it and I was like,
dumb as a kid.
I was like, I kind of want that. Can I have that? Can somebody make that? Like
Ramen Toys.
Yeah. Ramen
Toys.
I mean, we did have Transformers that turned into rocks. So.
Yeah, we had Masters of the Universe figures that transformed into rocks. They weren't even like Transformers. They were just, here's this Masters guy, and if you put his arms and legs out and tuck his head down, boom, rock.
Yeah, right.
And you love it.
Oh,
then
the
we're like,
Burbs. That's another good
no, let's be. I did not love the Rock Warriors.
All right, Brick. Now bring them together.
Yeah, no, I'm doing all these different modes. I'm looking at the box, trying to make it. This is like the strip down and
basic spider.
I'm about to load the gun on top. The legs.
You know what that reminds me of? That like spider robot from the Ghost in the Shell, the original movie.
Yeah, the Tachikomas.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm a nerd.
Dude, that's totally okay.
I was thinking Johnny Quest, but that's
a great one too. Big old Alex Toth spider droid thing. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So then you put the guns on this thing, and so I'm gonna show Ken this tonight. Indie Transformers.
Right?
And then on another one.
Oh, music fan said, "What's fun about playing with a building?"
Well, you know, when you've got Godzilla coming to town, a transforming building to fight him and say, "Hey, hey."
That's right. That'd be a
That
shock
really-
to Godzilla.
I
That
would
thing's
watch that
awesome.
Godzilla movie.
Right?
Not today, Godzilla. Not today.
Yeah.
Yeah. He comes through about ready to rip a building up, and then the building fights back and says, "You know what,
right.
mother? I've had enough of your."
That's right. You
It's
just
not
stepped
my-
on my little sister. You're done.
Well, and it's not even that city's fault that like they nuclear bombed and woke up Godzilla. Like he is taking out his aggression on the wrong person. He is punching down. So Godzilla
Right.
needs to like
Just imagine how much fun it was being that guy in the costume, though, just stepping all over that diode that
right.
took days to build.
Oh, Matthew is in here saying he loves Tachikomas. I have models of several of them. Excellent. You know, like I miss like you know, back in the day, like anime used to be very, very I don't want to say like underground. But like, you know, back when you used to like had to find like the special store that would sell the VHS tape because we never really had series, a lot of it. We had mostly the movies. Like you had your Vampire Hunter D's, you had you know, OVAs that were strung together as an actual movie versus the individual episodes. And you know, like I really, really miss those days because there's so much good stuff that comes out. Now it feels like we just get spammed with a lot of repetitive stuff. Like, you know, it's the same story but told slightly differently. And I get that. You get that across all things. But I really, really hold on, Brick. Let me give you full screen here because I'm liking this.
Oh,
little
sorry. Yeah, I didn't
rotation.
mean to interrupt. This is what I've been doing. If you're wondering why I keep ducking and whatever.
Yeah, no, that looks good.
You're getting some use out of that thing, huh, Brick?
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Multitasking.
Every time I pop on YouTube, you got new showed up.
Oh, the little. Yeah. I'm loving. You're talking about the background setup. Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't watch Brick
Well,
Shorts
might
because
be
it costs
cable,
me
yeah.
money.
You were saying, Oz, like you're feeling like, because I'll just say, it took my kids who are now 10 and 12. You know, a lot of my students too. Sorry, I'll rewind. A lot of my students are super into anime, and they're just talking about things that like I didn't really know about and wasn't paying attention. And then my kids were starting to talk about things, you know, that they heard about at school. And so now I'm checking these things out, and I was like, man, this is pretty cool stuff. You know, it took my kids talking about Chainsaw Man and
Right.
what else? Yeah, no, but there's some pretty cool stuff out there.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some really cool stuff out there. It's just harder for me to sift through it
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
because there is
absolutely a
so
lot.
much of it.
Well, it's
You
I
like
know.
used to when I first got my license, I would drive down to LA and like to a bunch of different places and buy bootleg VHSs, just like tapes straight from Japan, copied a billion times, terrible quality.
that's like the anime. I was at Barnes and Noble yesterday with Luke, and the anime section is bigger than like the trade paperback section at the Barnes and Noble. It's like
Yeah,
amazing
it's
how many
grown.
years. It's just whoa.
It used to be a very small section right next to this huge graphic novel section,
Yep.
and now it's like the manga section dwarfs like most of the other sections.
Yep.
Yeah, that's you know, my kid's generation and a little bit older, and you know, my kid we went out today. It took us like 40-50 minutes to get where we're going and then back. And you know, we do this thing where everyone gets to pick a song, and it's like these theme songs from anime. And my youngest is singing in his sort of like phonetic understanding of Japanese and stuff. And it's like, what is this world? I was your age. I was listening to U2. Can you zoom this in real quick? I want to show you this because I'm tripping out.
Absolutely.
And so here's the leg. This is what, you know, these legs come off and you get the little spider thing. This thing is what I want to focus in on. because I just found this. And you know, I don't have a whole lot of like robots now, so this was kind of a. So now this.
Oh. It becomes a pistol he can actually hold. That is awesome.
Yep, it becomes
Nice.
armament for this guy. Wild. So yeah, this is so cool.
That is
and
wild.
then there's more. So
That
Astrobots,
is
there you go.
No, thanks, Brick. There's some more money I got to spend.
Right.
We don't
Well,
we
gotta
don't have to
find
buy
those.
all of them. We just
Well, when you show them off and they're so freaking cool, yes, we do have to buy them.
the shorts don't have to cost you money.
Well, luckily, most of the stuff you have shorts of, I've already bought, so we're good.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Except for the tiger, I'm still trying to get him. Master Wang.
Master Wang.
I was waiting for somebody to have a comment there.
That shut everybody down. Nobody wanted to say it.
Not after we were pointing out the inappropriateness of Revenge of the Nerds and
Well, you know.
There wasn't very
Revenge
many
of the
'80s movies that didn't have some level of inappropriateness to them.
yeah.
They all were.
Imagine being an Asian kid growing up in the 80s. Just saying. I got
Hey,
the
look.
long duck dong jokes and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Relegated
Sorry.
to just henchmen. Couldn't even be a main villain.
And then that
This is
Michael
what-
Keaton movie came out called Gung Ho, where the Asian factory took over the car dealership.
See, even in the 80s, I felt that one was sus. It took me a little while to. The Long Duck Dong one took me longer to get through my head because as Americans were kind of not exposed in the right way to other cultures, so I didn't get it until I was old. Yeah, so like, but the Gung Ho one from the get go, I'm like, this feels weird somehow. But Long Duck Dong took me a little bit longer. It actually took me to get the full impact. I went because we have here in the Portland metro area, we have a lot of revival theaters, or we did. Most of them have gone first run now. But there was one of them, it was the Laurelhurst Theater, and they were doing like 80s teen comedies. So it was like Revenge of the Nerds one week, 16 Candles the next, Breakfast Club, which is of all of them has probably weathered the most, but there's still like some let's call it rapey stuff in there. Not as bad, but like at the same time. And then Weird Science, and it was just like a lot of my childhood I went with Portland friends, so it's not like like it was just weird. It was like 16 Candles. I was all excited, and then I kind of left, and I'm like, man, there's a lot to unpack there that I never got before, and I was just like, that kind of sucks.
You went home, took a shower, and
like,
scraped off your skin.
It sucks less for me.
Chewed a pack of big red bubble gum like Jim Carrey. And
yeah, right. But it sucks a lot less for me than it did for like the Asian kids. So I'm like, I can deal with it. I can adjust. But it was just it's really weird. Like for me, whenever it's like Revenge of the Nerds, just gonna say like, let's conveniently call it consent issues around the pie and people in the wrong costume. It was just like, oh wow, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that kind of the way with the bullies too. Like some of the bullies in some of those '80s movies are so just like
right.
Like I mean, it's to all the kids that are less than right, or were considered less than back then, right? It's like wow, that's hardcore.
I never experienced bullies like the ones that were in the movie.
No.
Like,
I don't think they actually existed.
We definitely had bullies.
Well, they were definitely over dramatized for sure, right?
Yeah. I mean, they did overemphasize all the extremes of bullies and stuff. But
I mean, look at Karate Kid, right? Karate Kid had the Cobra Kai back in the day, right? The original one, right? And
yeah.
you're never going to get 10 kids that are going to go and gang up on you just because you are new to town, right? I mean, they might pick on you, but they're not going to like take you out back and have fun kicking your ass while you're.
Well, you got to look at it from Johnny Lawrence's perspective. This new kid came into town and
Stole his girl.
His girl.
Yeah, I know.
Not only did he,
I was
steal
that kid.
What always got me is because I grew up all punk rocker. All the punk rockers were always bad guys in movies. Like,
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. See, Matthew Madsen's right. Daniel was the bully. Lawrence, Daniel was definitely the bully. He came in, he stole Lawrence's girl. And that wasn't enough.
I saw Cobra Kai too.
He had to steal I had this theory before Cobra Kai was a thing. They clearly say at the beginning of that fight, no kicks to the face. And how does Daniel win? He kicks him straight in the face.
Well, you see
after his leg was swept.
After his leg was
How I Met Your Mother.
If it wasn't for a Karate Kid, we wouldn't have that great Chicago or Peter's the Terror song. Come on.
That's
You
true.
know Patrick Harrison, that's freaking hilarious.
Yep.
But we definitely had a lot of bullies that would pick on kids. But I was always like, I enjoyed hanging out with a bunch of the nerdy kids because I was always into their stuff. So like all the bullies that would pick on them, I was bigger than most of the bullies. So I always just kind of like picked on them back. It was like, you're not going to bully my friends. I'm sorry. You picked the wrong day.
I was like that too. My older brother was smaller than me, and I always had to protect him because even though he was smaller than me, he had a bigger mouth than I did, and he always ran into the wrong people.
I had
diarrhea of the mouth.
As a kid. The big fucking mouth. You learn lessons.
Yeah.
I should have let my brother learn lessons because now he's 52 and he's still an asshole.
And he still probably says, my brother's going to kick your ass.
He does. I mean, 10 years ago, we're at a bar and he started shit with a whole group of bikers, and I had to go and talk to them and get everything settled down. I'm like, he's just drunk, guys. I'll take him home.
Yep.
Let me buy you guys a beer because I ain't fighting you because you guys are all a lot bigger than I am.
That's right. You win every fight you don't actually participate in. All right, guys, I am going to start wrapping it up here because just a few minutes we're going to do some channel surfing. So if you're having fun, you're enjoying this conversation, the exact same conversation is not going to necessarily happen over on Ken's channel at Toy Connections, but we're going to have similar conversations, of course, about indie toys, and I know wrestling's going to end up coming up at some point because that's Ken's jam, and
Not
I
an episode of
absolutely love.
Ken without the belt.
Sad week in wrestling, man.
It has been.
that
It's been
was-
it's been a tragic week all around.
Yep.
It's been rough, like really, really rough. But just for everybody here, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link for Ken's live stream coming up.
Is Ken starting at 1 our time?
Excuse me, I was gonna try to mute my mic there because of that cough. Yeah, 1 a.m. our time.
Okay.
So that's only 25 minutes away. And, we're going to wrap this up here. I want to take a little bit of time to have a bit of a break, refill the coffee, and then I will be jumping over into Ken's back room, and we'll be doing that. Oh. Is Ken over Brett tapping out to HBK yet? I don't think that'll ever happen. But apparently Nolan will be there, and Ray Black will be joining us as well. Black Phoenix says he's not a wrestling fan, but we're going to be talking about a lot of cool indie toys. It's not going to be
It wouldn't be a live stream without Nolan, would it, in the chat?
It wouldn't be.
Nope,
It just
it
doesn't
would
count.
not
If Nolan
be.
is not in your toy
Wouldn't
chat,
count.
then you did not have flash that back up there, Brick.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's
you got
talking
them all
about the
together?
legend of your pants.
Yeah,
I haven't done the backpack yet. I'm doing different poses and the turn on the.
I'm liking the
turn
twin
table.
gun system here. I like that a lot.
I
That is
am
awesome.
too.
Man,
Yeah, those things are really cool.
damn you. Oops, sorry, I didn't say that out loud, did I?
K-Roll's mentioning Ditto, and yep, see, there we go. You'll still be there. Absolutely, because we're going to be having a really big fun talk about a lot of these great indie toys. Oh, and Osbrick's making an appearance. You gotta love it
Hey, look at
every
these
time that
guys.
hideous thing comes up. We recognize those two fellas. One of the most hideous creations of all
Why do you look
time.
like Paul White in that picture, Oz?
Cause
It's the big.
It's the big show.
yeah, I mean, I'm that big. Well, okay, I'm about like as wide as he is tall, but
Yeah.
You're the best around. Sorry, I got it. It's running through there right now.
Yeah, I got it too. It's hitting my head too. Like I have so many of these great soundtracks running through my head. I'm gonna be on a roll for the next week. Oh, that's something I'm working on too. I'm trying to get a new startup video, and I'm gonna have a new end credits video for the show coming up, which is gonna be really neat. I'm gonna get some synthwave made up for me.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll see, and then I won't have to worry about copyrights anymore. And then I gotta go retroactively edit it into all of my previous videos because apparently you
Oh.
cannot monetize, even if it's okay to be used on YouTube. You cannot monetize stuff with copyright.
Oh.
So if I get a copyright ding, even though it's, I can't monetize it or whatever. But I mean, I got a long way to go before I get there anyhow.
Yeah.
It was just something that Skelly had brought to my attention, and I was like, well, I better make sure I fix stuff up anyway. Yep.
It's so weird with YouTube's rules. It's just weird.
Right. Yeah. So he's saying Cruel Summer is also in Karate Kid. Yeah, that's a great.
It's a crew.
And they did a slowed down newer version in one of the seasons of Cobra Kai. Like they did a slowed down cover of it. That was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed that.
Was that Bananarama or Ace of Base?
Bananarama.
Yeah, it was
And
before
Ace
Ace
of
of Base.
Base.
Wait, hold on. Okay, never mind. I'll let that one go. Actually,
Ace of Base did a very not amazing cover of it, but it's functional.
oh, they did. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's okay.
Yeah.
I saw the. Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, I could have done without that brick. Thanks. Now it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
I'll start
Well,
seeing
Allison
signs.
already had it in my head earlier.
Yeah, because I listened to Ace of Base earlier.
We were talking about another chat. I've already had Ace and Base stuck in my head today.
I mean, it's like, you see the sign and you open up your mind, but where do you belong, Oz? Where do you belong?
Where do I belong? Right here on YouTube.
But where do
with the rest
you
of you.
belong? Bum, 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 bum.
My sister used to play Ace of Base quite frequently. Back in the day, there was at one point I know I could sing almost every single song on that album.
Yeah, my sister was the same way.
I didn't mind the New Kids on the Block. Ace of Base got on my nerves after a while.
New Kids on the Block.
But if it comes on the radio now, do you change the dial?
New Kids on the Block were the band everybody liked when I was in school, but no one wanted to admit to liking.
Exactly. Well, no, let's rephrase that. Everybody in school didn't want to admit it except like those 7, 12-year-olds.
Right.
Who shouldn't have been at your high school anyway because they were 12. But
Right.
there they were with their little T-shirts and their pillows on.
Yeah.
Look,
And
and
their haircuts that matched Danny's hair.
And
look, we
oh my,
totally.
Danny Wolf looks like everyone's like, look how they've aged. It's like Danny Wolf has looked the same since 1987. He
Yeah,
always
he looked like he was 23
45.
years old then.
He's always looked 40. He's the only one who's aged well because he hasn't really aged. He still looks
Right.
like 47, and he has since 1987. So
We had the representation in our room. Definitely, we had New Kids on the Block curtains on one window. Sheet sets were on her bed. I had Ninja Turtles and He-Man on my stuff. We represented.
you also had. I bet you also had a Debbie Gibson poster, Oz.
I did not. I
was
actually
a
did.
Tiffany fan.
Tiffany was from my neck of the woods, Norwalk, California.
Did get a Tiffany Amber Thiessen poster later.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that was more our age.
That's true. You are a little younger.
Yeah, Saved by the Bell.
Yep.
Yeah,
I always liked
Oh.
I always liked Meadow Larkin, but she went crazy and off the deep end.
She's a little bit. Yeah.
Did she? I don't know this story. I will have to do that in a whole stream about Metal Arc.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, let's wrap this up
Yeah, we'll
because
see you soon, Oz.
Rick and I got to go on another stream. Folks, it's been amazing. I dropped the link in the chat, but if y'all aren't already subscribed to Ken's channel, head over to Toy Connections on YouTube and subscribe now so you can hang out with more of us. All right, folks. See you all in a bit.
Later,
Hey
everybody.
guys.
Bye, guys.